Welcome to Fullerton College Football on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, and the old guy happy to bring you these games tonight as your 4-0 Fullerton College Hornets take on Southwestern today. Corey Neyland, this should be a game that will look at what the offense is doing. And if it's the offense can perform at the level we think they should, this could be a big game for the running attack for these Hornets tonight.
Yeah, it should be a big game for the Hornets. Kearns and Ashford back deep for Fullerton, waiting for the kick from Haji Musa. And again, Elvis Vakapuna and Garnett Davis III, they should have tremendous games behind the big Fullerton offensive line.
So Ashford nearer to you as your team is going from right to left in the blue and white uniforms. Kearns at the far side of the field, both standing about at the 5-yard line. Big kick. Kearns is going to come up. He's going to take it right at the 17. Looks for a gap. Goes the outside at the 30. He's got a player in front of him. Down to the 50. Down to the 40. Stays on his feet. Turns his feet. Gets struck down all the way at the 20-yard line. Nice return all the way to the 19.
64 yards on the return and good field position for the Hornets to really start off this ball game and really establish themselves as a unit. New starting offensive line, Nicholas Siatanuu is not going to get the start at center. That's going to be Dalton Brown, flanked by Andrew Sanders II, Luke Terrones, Dylan Nichols, and Sammy Garcia.
Brandon Nunez comes out at quarterback. Leland Smith to the near side of the field. Jordan Tate in the slot inside of him on the far side of the field. C.J. Broy. And right off his hip, Garnett Davis III in an empty backfield set by the Hornets. First down and 10, right at the 20 for the Hornets. Brandon Nunez goes back, throws it over to Garnett Davis III. Oh, it was to C.J. Broy, so C.J. Broy gets it. Takes it down to the 7. So they're waiting to move the sticks. The official standing there says a first down market. That time they hand it to Garnett Davis III. Corey gets about 2, and we're going to see flags all over the field.
We might actually get a targeting penalty here, Mark. 3 different guys were in on the tackle, and Garnett Davis III's helmet came flying off.
So it's a face mask penalty against the Southwestern. So it's going to move a little closer. Be automatic first down and goal for the Hornets at the 3. Garnett Davis III in at running back. Brandon Nunez, the quarterback. Far side of the field, it's Jordan Tate. C.J. Broy in the slot to the near side of the field. Inside him is Fox Hagen. Throw it over to the far side of the field. Incomplete. So it's going to bring up second down and goal right at the 3. Hornets looking to get to a fast start. Last week against Mount San Jacinto, they didn't do too well. And Ryan Osborn, it looks like they're bringing in a brand new squad. Michael Vaccapuno is in at running back. Elvis is in the house. Jeremy Gonzalez, the left side of the field. Gonzalez goes in motion from left to right. Vacapuna goes straight up the middle. He's going to be down before he gets inside for a touchdown. So it's going to bring up a third down and goal for the Hornets.
And Mark, they took out Gonzalez and bring in somebody bigger up front, and that's going to be George Dua.
I formation for the Hornets. 13:53 to go. Vacapuna gets it again. Touchdown, Fullerton. So with 13:49 to go, the Hornets get on the board quickly in this game.
Elvis, 2 carries, 1 touchdown, his second touchdown this season for the team's leading rusher.
So this was all set up on a great return of 65 yards, Corey, by Kearns?
Yeah, approximately, unofficially 65.
Okay. Ashlyn Fourbear's brother. That's how I said her name at the soccer game, Ashlyn Fourbear. Her brother Jonathan, the field goal kicker, is in. Ashland plays for Cyprus women's soccer team. Kick is up, and the kick is good. So with 13:49 to go here in the first quarter, it's Fullerton 7, Southwestern 0 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Don't forget all our games here on SportsNetUSA.net are brought to you by Discount Markets of Anaheim. Looking for those great foods around the area? Well, no better place to go than Discount Markets. That's right. You can be looking for any product at any price, and you'll find it at Discount Markets at Fullerton. Jay Gordon to the far side of the field. Jovan Young to the near side of the field for Southwestern. Gordon back deep. 7-0 quickly here with 13:49 to go in the first quarter. The Hornets on the board first. Young steps back, bounces short, and goes in the infield. Ryan Osborn a little deadly letting that ball die over your shoulder. If it kicks backwards, the Hornets have got the ball.
Yeah, and that ball just kind of dinked its way inside the 5-yard line. And when you're looking at it, Mark, special teams have been fantastic for the Fullerton College Hornets. It's been one of their biggest points of emphasis over the last 4 weeks of play because we saw last year they were good, but they weren't game-breaking. And so far, special teams for the Hornets has been fabulous, to say the least.
Yeah, as they come out quickly. So we'll see if Southwestern can find a rhythm out here. Go off the left side. No gain on the play. So, Wojcik in at quarterback for Southwestern.
And that defensive unit, Carlo Torres gets to start on the outside with Eric Hill. In the middle, getting the start for the first time this year is Brandon Harris, and Michael Small gets starts on the interior.
Savon Robinson to the near side of the field. Wojcik in a shotgun formation. Gets a jump. Free play on his part. It's going to go over here to Robinson. Incomplete pass, but that's going to be offsides against the Hornets. So 5-yard penalty.
Andrew Harris with the jump, fellas, and that trio of linebackers, it might be the best trio in community college football. It's Chris Harm in the middle, Jeremiah McNeely, and Branson, well, we're just going to call him Biso, is the 3 linebackers. Jordan Little, far side cornerback. Near side cornerback getting the start today is Ty Milton. Safeties are Kadari Kearns, KD, and Thaddeus Jones are the safeties. 39 in white getting his first start.
Robinson comes to the near side of the field. Jordan Benton goes to the far side of the field. Wojcik goes to Benton, far side of the field, all the way out to the 40 for a first down.
And nice grab by Jovan Young. He makes the stop. Jordan Little on the coverage. Did a nice job, but again, he let him get that break too early, and that's a first down. Good throw by Wojcik.
So Young and Robinson to the near side of the field. Wojcik looks over. First down and 10 at the 40. And it's straight up the middle. Not much running against this Hornet defense. Didn't see it last week. We probably won't see it again tonight here on sports.usa.net.
They're stingy, only giving up 85 rush yards per game. That's 6th in the SCFA.
Mark, Corey, one thing I got to do this week was talk to the linebacking core for Fullerton College, talk to Chris Harm. He said one of their biggest assets is that they're able to stop the run. How does he do that? He says, use that quickness, get into the gaps as early as possible, so that way they force everyone back to the middle to help.
2nd down and 8 for Southwestern. See if they can get on the move. Fullerton needs to stop them. They're moving quickly. Throw it over, looking to throw it in the flat. Nobody there. Throws it into the corner. Almost picked as they tried to force it into Young, and Force was covered by a gaggle of Hornets.
Milton Kearns is there. And what's the advantage of having 3 quick linebackers? You saw Chris Harm close on Wojcik quickly, and Biso coming on the outside, being another defender to throw into traffic.
Illegal person downfield, that's declined. So lineman snuck downfield just a little like us sneaking into the back of a restaurant and getting a free meal. A little dink of peanut butter, a little dab of jam. So it's going to bring up a 3rd down and 9 at the 41-yard line for the Jags.
And Wojcik, 52 of 92, 5 interceptions this season, 607 yards, 5 touchdowns.
Quick formation, clock ticking down. Just get it off in time. Throw it over here. Have to make the tackle. Held up, and we get a flag immediately on the far side of the field. Guys, I got to say, what's that going to be? That's got to be a personal foul against the Hornets.
Well, on the far side of the field, it looks like it might have been offsides on Eric Hill. Because if it wasn't offside, it's going to be a hold on Hill.
So we'll wait and see what's going on. So it was against Southwestern. Illegal shift on the play. Decline brings up a 4th down with 11:38 to go. Your Hornets are up 7-0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Eric was in the backfield so quickly, I thought it might have been offsides as Jeremy Gonzalez out of Houston is back deep.
Sure hands, number 25 on the 25-yard line. See what Jeremy can do. It looks like the Hornets are coming, putting on a pass block. They couldn't lay out in time. Off the side of the foot, takes a skip. Gonzalez looks at it. It's going to roll out of bounds right at the 22. So with 11:09 to go here in the first quarter, it's the Hornets 7, Southwestern 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Southwestern has had 5 different punters this season. And usually when you see that, it might be one, on an off punt, but they've had 5 different punters with multiple kicks this season.
Brandon Nunez brings his team back out. Bakapuna, the running back for the Hornets. 1st down and 10. Right at the 23. Nunez keeps it himself. Quarterback keeper straight up the field, looking on that straight line. Has to outrun everybody. Just gets tripped up at the 45. And Corey, if he had a little more speed, about as fast as you and Ryan, he might be in the end zone.
Nice, excellent play as you fake the handoff up the middle. And Nunez, he has speed, a 30-yard run there. And again, if he's a little bit quicker, he gets into the end zone, but they'll take that.
1st down and 10. Chain gang trying to get set up. First down and 10. Bakapuna. Elvis stays in the backfield. Nunez looking to get things going here. They run a reverse around the left side. It's got to get the turn. Tiptoeing down the sideline by Cameron Woods. Cameron Woods gets a gain all the way down to the 29-yard line. Move the chains.
And if Jabri Brevino actually stands in front of the defender, makes a block right, he didn't even have to make a block, just stand in front. Cameron Woods gets a 6. But he was pushed out of bounds by Demarion Smith.
Bakapuna had 234 yards coming into tonight's game. 1st down and 10 at the 30. Nunez looks things over. Bakapuna goes in motion from left to right. Throws it, a double pass. Bakapuna throwing it downfield. This is money to say the least, as Austin Labias is all by himself, sort of like Corey in a candy store, and gets a touchdown.
29 yards on the double pass. You saw Brandon Nunez throw it, and a nice job by Elvis to keep his wits about him because he had a rush coming towards him. Levias was standing all alone at the 10 and walks in for a 13-0 lead.
And guys, the way that play is designed is it gives Elvis an opportunity to just say, hey, even though I have a guy directly in front of me, let me just toss it up and out there. that guy should be open enough to no matter where that ball lands, he's able to get to it. It's more of a throw it into open space, let your receiver do the work.
And that's exactly what it did, Ryan. As you saw a receiver wide open, just had to wait for a football and hope it got to him, which it did for a touchdown. As Jonathan Faubert comes in and says, well, this is money. If my sister can do it, I can do it. He puts it through the uprights. And it's now 14-0 Hornets here with 9:50 to go in the first quarter here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Hornets come in 4-0, ranked 5th the last time I looked in the standings. And guys, instead of going down or up, they might just sit there here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And you got to love the standings, but you don't want to pay too much attention to them. Because you know if somebody runs the table, they'll be there at the end. If they lose one game, they'll still be there at the end. And there was a debate on who had the better foot in the Faubert family. That football player.
That's it. Ball goes back to Robinson again. Robinson's going to take it right at the 10. Turns at the 20. Gets an opening at the 30. Gets taken down by the ankles at the 38. Beautiful run back. And actually, that was Young that got it.
So Javon, 6'2", 205 out of Mar Vista High School. Ant Harris, who usually starts for the Hornets, is in, along with Jordan Crawford in this second possession for the Jaguars.
Young goes to the far side of the field to Robinson, the inside slot. Wojcik looks at first down and 10, right at the 43. Little dive play that gets nowhere, and the wall has just stopped any sort of run that's going on here by Southwestern.
Barrios thought he had a little bit of room, but Ty Milton steps up from his corner position. You like to see a cornerback not afraid to make a stop in the middle.
So Giovanni Barrios, running back at Chula Vista High School. Second down and 12. Right at the 41. Barrios goes from right to left, shifts the power that direction for Southwestern. Now he goes in motion out in the flat. They go back in this direction. Nice little quick pass and catch to Savion Robinson, who gets up to the 50, across it. No, they're going to mark him almost at the 50. Well, let's put it right there at the 50. It's going to bring up a third down and 3. 9 minutes to go here in the first quarter on SportsNetUSA.net.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, Mark, because the near side official and line judge actually had him at the 49-yard line, but the far side official is the one who marks him out at the 50.
Robinson comes in the near side of the field. Young at the far side of the field. Barrios stays in at running back. Wojcik goes the far thing, looks in the flat. Can't get it out there. Was trying to get it to Young out of Mar Vista High School, 6'2", 205-pounder, but just short arms it just a little. It's going to bring up a fourth down.
And what you like about Fullerton's defense, Coach Brian Crooks and Phil Austin in his secondary, and Conrad Wright on those cornerbacks, they play zero coverage. So man-to-man up front, everybody within 5 yards of the ball, and they were daring them to get to pass him down the field.
Jeremy Gonzalez back deep for the Hornets, who've always got a quick 14 points up on the board with 8:46 to go here in the first quarter. It's been all Fullerton in this game. High snap, looking for a return. Gonzalez is going to come up, let it bounce. Takes a bounce in favor of Southwestern, just across the 20 to the 19. So with 8:31 to go here in the first quarter, it's the Hornets 14, Southwestern 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Next week, we're off, guys. We're not going to be around next weekend. Everybody will go their own direction. But then the week after, we come back down in this direction, go to San Diego Mesa on a Thursday night. Yeah, we're all taking off at 12 noon that day. Corey Nail. Oh. Ryan Osborn and I are taking off at 12 noon on that day. So the Hornets, first down and 10 at the 20. Little pump fake. Little pump fake right there, Corey. And Garrett Larson gives the shoulder pump fake and then holds on to it just a little too long.
Yeah, you got to make sure you're throwing the ball when you make that pump fake. Nate Rosillo comes around the edge and looked mean, 6'2", 210 out of Southwest High School. Local product gets the sack.
Garrett Larson in at quarterback. Garnett Davis III in at running back. Leland Smith to the near side of the field. 2nd down and 14. Garnett Davis III gets hit at the line of scrimmage. Maybe gets one of the play. It's going to bring up a monstrous 3rd down with 7:40 to go.
And it's probably going to be another run. But you notice that they run Garnett Davis. He's not afraid to go up in between the tackles and in between the guards. But you'd really like to see him on the edge sometimes.
Michael Vakapuna comes in the game. Elvis, his nickname. That's right. Elvis is in the stadium. Hornets looking to move things around. Takes Jordan Date. They move him to the right side of the field. They put Leland Smith all alone here on the left side or the near side of the field. 3rd down and 14. Michael Vakapuna doesn't even get to the front door before it's not closed or open. He was locked in.
And that's Aldrich Auerbach out of Tijuana. Devours Elvis.
That must be a hungry person. Elvis is a big kid. If you're going to eat him, you probably haven't been fed in a few days. So Southwestern should get good field position on the play. Hornets punting from their own end zone. End over end. Ball's going to hit, take a Hornet bounce, and will die at the 45.
So with the roll, a 40-yard kick by Luke Mamana.
So 1st down and 10 here in the first quarter. It's the Hornets 14. Southwestern, I can't even get Southwestern out, can I? 0 here on sports@usa.net. 6:32 to go. You know, this is hard to broadcast a game in my lower tones.
This is what you call dulcet.
Oh, man. 1st down and 10. Hornets up the middle again. Team making a stop here on sports@usa.net.
Brought down by C.J. Neesmith. And we want to thank all the players that we talked to during the week, that you and Ryan talked to, and during the coaches show and out here on Saturdays. It's nice to talk to the youngsters just so we know how to say their names.
You know, I do want to give a thanks to the linebacking core for Fullerton, Jeremiah McNeely, Branson as well. We also want to thank Chris Harm joining us on the coaches show, talking to us, giving us an inside look at how their position is played.
Sabian Robinson comes in near side of the field. Barrios up the middle, gets stuffed again for no gain. So Barrios has not been able to do much with it. Giovanni having a hard time. 5'9" freshman out of Chula Vista High School in San Diego has not had a lot of headroom out there for running.
Yeah, their team only averages 84 yards per game. That time he was brought down by Junior Kennedy on the stop. So Neesmith and Kennedy make quick impacts in there. Fullerton only giving up 12 points per game. That's 2nd in the SCFA, 6th in rushing, 7th in passing, and 5th overall.
3rd down and 9 at the 45. Wojciech throws over, goes to Sabian Robinson, but his momentum drives him out of bounds, short of a 1st down, across the 50 at the 48. Let's see if Southwestern rolls the bones and hopes to hold on to the ball. They'd give the Hornets great field position with 4:57 to go here in the first quarter if they don't make it.
Think you have to, and between Wojciech, Robinson, and Vaughn, they've got a good set of skills. But again, that offensive line just needs to give them a little bit more protection.
Wojciech brings up the line of scrimmage. Sabian Robinson stays over here. Wojciech looks in Robinson's way, and he says, "Excuse me," as he gets swallowed up at the 42-yard line.
Junior Chris and Muhammad Hasuna converge in the backfield, and that's going to be a loss of about 8 yards. and give Fullerton better field position in Jaguar territory.
So the Jaguars give it a roll. It just doesn't work out for them, and now the Hornets are getting ready. Brandon Nunez comes back out. Garnet Davis III at running back. Jordan Tate to the near side of the field. C.J. Broy to the far side of the field. First down and 10. Right at the 43 for the Hornets. 4:34 to go here in the first quarter. Nunez looks things over. Goes back. Throws it out in the flat. Makes a turn. C.J. gets nowhere but backwards. A loss of 5 on the play. So little chicanery, trickery, misdirection worked to start this game off. Austin Levias comes to the near side of the field. C.J. Broy on the inside slot. Nunez looks things over. Second down, and I'm going to say 15 for the Hornets. Nunez goes to the far side of the field. Layout catch. Nice catch there by Jordan Tate, who goes and gets the football.
Give him the catch. They're going to say he was out of bounds when he caught it, but I thought he got a foot down.
And it is a catch. So they're going to mark it at the 38. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 5.
And he drove Demarion Smith off of the ball to make a nice catch, a little bit out of range. But again, when Brandon Nunez steps and throws, you guys both say he's a heck of a quarterback.
Big 3rd down for the Hornets at the 38. Let's see, Brandon Nunez tucks it. He goes back, throws there, and I tell you what, there's the flag. Ryan Osborn, you were yanking on your hanky while it was still in your pocket.
Yeah, because he had his outside hand wrapped around the entire hip and then also gives a little bit of tug to the jersey before that ball is even let go. So as he's releasing to go back to the slant towards the middle, he doesn't have the opportunity to open up because the defender is tugging him backwards.
Corey Neyland, you're shaking your head over there.
And I don't even think
you don't have a hanky.
I don't even think he even needed to do that either. I mean, he had Tate well covered.
It's first down and 10. They've got a 4th down and 10, but it's first down and 10. Brandon Nunez rolls, keeps it himself, pitches it backwards, ill-advised throw of the football, and that was a fumble because, guys, he flipped it backwards. Therefore, it's a lateral, and it becomes a loose football.
I don't even think he pitched it. I think he was thinking about pitching, and then it got knocked out of his hands. Tremendous defense by the Jaguars.
So you see it differently than I did.
Yeah, I agree with Corey. I think he was running up the field with his arm away from his body, thinking about the throw the entire time, was at the initial point of contact still thinking about the throw. So once he gets across the line of scrimmage, his arm is away from his body. He can't protect it. So when he thinks about the pitch backwards, it's knocked out.
But I do agree with you, Mark. He was careless.
So it's going to be a big turner, first down and 10 for the Jaguars. Wojak says, let's go out and get him. Throws out in the flat. Nice gain of 7 on the play, and we have a player down, Corey, because it was head-to-head.
Biso took a shot to his leg from his own team.
Oh, was that what it was, Corey?
Yeah.
I thought he hit helmet to helmet on the far side. That wasn't what happened?
No, that was DeJuan Grant, who came in as a submarine, missed the tackle, and hit Biso right in the leg. It's good that he came up. Nick Doan checks in for Branson. And Doan is 4th on the team in tackles.
Nice gain of 6 on the play for Southwestern with 2:53 to go here in the first quarter. The Hornets started off fast and loose, and all of a sudden now Southwestern has woke up and said, lights are on. We're ready to play, and they've come out with a vengeance here in the last minutes. Barrios can't get out of the backfield, loses 2 on the play.
And that's Eric Hill. Again, Eric is quick off the ball, and it looked like it was a play that was going to be set up, but he just tracked him down. As Jeremy Naborn also in at linebacker for the Hornets. 28 in white, 23 in white is McNeely. Doan is 54 in white. Ryan, Mark, you talked to Brian Crooks. Linebackers are the key to the D.
Yeah, that's what they said all day long. big third down play after the turnover. Almost a jump. Was a jump. Free play. Turn. Pick. Almost picked. I thought he had a pick. I thought they had a catch. Are they going to call it a catch on the far side of the field? It is a catch on the far side of the field. Nice play. Nice pitch and throw. First down, we're going to have this play stand. It'll be offsides against the Hornets.
And that's Jovan Young, his 18th reception this season. Came into the ball game with 250 yards. And again, you see the impressiveness on the outside and the arm that Wojcik has.
So we're getting a discussion. So they hadn't moved the chains, and the chain gang is just a little slow in the game here to catch up with everybody. So it'll be a 1st and 10 right at the 46. So the young man at Amara Vista High School, San Diego, his arm is warming up here because he's got a couple of ends, can go out and get the football. Looks again, turns around, looks a quick flat, and Corey Savion Robinson is the hot receiver for this Jaguar team.
Yeah, and team's leader with 22 receptions coming into the ball game. It's 2 touchdowns.
Face mask against the Hornets. That's a personal foul, so we'll move him another 15 yards. It takes it all the way down to the 35. And with 1:38 to go, the Jags are on the move. Hornets started out fast. Jags are trying to answer. Charles Nunez, the big tight end, comes into the game. Young goes up far side of the field, near side of the field. It's going to be the hot receiver, Robinson. Nunez goes in motion from right to left for the Jags. Throw it out to the far side of the field. One-on-one. Caught, cut back, enough for a first down again. Javon Young makes the receives, and it's 2 receivers, Corey, that can catch the football for this Jaguar team right now.
And the Hornets are going to need to make a decision. Are you going to let them keep beating us little, 5-cent words, or are you going to make them go up top and get those 25-cent words? You're going to have to make them go over top of you to make those plays.
First down and 10 right at the 22 for the Jaguars. 59 seconds to go. 14-0 Hornets. The Jags quickly come. Robinson, and we're going to have too many men break from the offensive huddle against the Jags. They broke with 12. So it should be an illegal substitution, which it is, against the Jags. Hey, you know what? The old guy has still got it every once in a while here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So what happened is the Jaguars had 12 people in the huddle. When they broke, they understood that. If you'd had somebody step out of the huddle, go off the field before they broke the huddle, it would not have been too many men on the field. Moved it back 5 yards. First down and 15. Once again, the running play is not really doing anything. Corey, I tell you what, I'd keep throwing the ball if I was Southwestern until the Hornets take it away. We're under 25 seconds here in the first quarter. It's the Hornets 14, the Jaguars 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
That was Flores who picked up a couple. Now, I think you need to sprint in that run a little bit because you have to keep Fullerton honest. Speaking of sprints, outside, sprinkling just a little bit.
It is. A little rain coming down here in San Diego on Sportsnet, USA.net. So as we come to the end of the first quarter, it's the Hornets 14, the Jaguars 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Just want to thank our constant sponsor, one of the best sponsors around, Discount Markets of Fullerton, located on Raymond between Commonwealth and Chapman. I tell you what, you want to go over there like I did this morning, needed to pick up a few things for our trip down here to Southwestern, walked on in, saw the ladies, said, hey, I need to grab this, turned around, walked out, and I thought, oh my goodness, I've got all this extra money. That's exactly what will happen if you go to Discount Markets and shop there. Great quality, great prices, and anything you need you can find there at Discount Markets of Fullerton, located between Chapman and Commonwealth on Raymond in Fullerton. Discount Markets of Fullerton, one of our big sponsors here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Well, the Jags want to get into the end zone to start this second quarter here on SportsNetUSA.net. The Hornets started out fast, guys. I tell you, Corey, when it was 14-0, I thought it was going to be a giant blowout in this game. Robinson goes to the far side of the field. Young comes to the near side of the field. Second down and 15 for the Jags. Just starting the second quarter here on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey, Ryan, the old guy, bringing you the game. Big first down play. Straight off right tackle. Taken there by Raymond Flores out of Southwest High School in San Diego. 5'10", 210 pounds. Flores trying to get off a tackle. Gets a few feet. It's going to bring up a third down and 12 right at the 25.
And you look at Southwestern's 0-4 record coming into this ball game. They've given up 55 points a game. They average 17 points a game scoring. But it's a team that you just wonder. They got a lot of talent, and you wonder 4 games, 7, 8, 9, 10. They're probably not going to be undefeated, or winless.
Young goes to the far side of the field. Robinson in the slot. They go in motion. Trips the right side. Here comes the pressure. Trying to throw it back. Almost picked at the 15. Great jump defensively.
And that's Quentin Ashford, and that's one of the things you're going to have to be careful of if you're Wojcik, because you keep throwing to the outside there. You're going to have to use that pump fake and go down the field, because one of those would be picked.
So it's going to bring up a 4th down, 13 at the 26. They're going to go try and get that first down. I thought maybe they would attempt a field goal to get some points on the board here with 14:06 to go in the second quarter. Dark clouds on the horizon. Robinson goes to the far side of the field. Young to the near side of the field. Wojcik looks, here they come. We get timeout by Southwestern. So with 14:06 to go here on SportsNetUSA.net, it's the Hornets 14, the Jaguars 0. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey, Ryan, myself, and other games coming up around the corner next Tuesday. A little women's soccer from Cypress College. And speaking of Ashlyn Faubert, I will see her next Tuesday here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ashlyn playing out there. So the Faubert family is one that's known from Cypress to Fullerton, both at a Foothill High School in Santa Ana on SportsNetUSA.net. And here comes, you know what? Somebody from Southwestern was listening to us on SportsNetUSA.net because they've decided to attempt a 42-yard field goal with 14:06 to go.
Luis Lopez is long as 34.
Spotted at the 32, you add 10. Ball is up, partially tipped, off to the right, no good. So with 14 minutes exactly here in the second quarter, it's the Hornets 14, the Jaguars 0 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Don't forget Santa Ana College currently on SportsNetUSA.net tonight.
And did you think Biso got the part of that, Mark?
I did, yes. So we'll give him part of the block.
As Ryan says, that's his second block this season.
His first one came against Canyons.
Okay.
Garnett Davis. Oh, sorry, guys.
The reason why I know this, I was chopping up film from this last week from the entire season because I got to talk to Biso on the coach's show.
And we're sorry, Biso, for pronouncing your name wrong for 2 years.
Garnett Davis III in at running back, goes out in the flat. Nunez cross the middle on a little drag route. Jordan Tate gets knocked out at the 25, gain of a yard on the play.
Good trail by Julius Latuli Gassanillo. I messed that up. Let me pronounce that again. Latuli Gassanoa.
2nd down and 9. Austin Levias comes in near side of the field. Leland Smith to the far side of the field. 2nd down. Run it straight up the middle. Cross the 30, over the 30 foot, right off the center's hip was Elvis on that one. Gets a gain of 7 on there. Corey Neyland, Elvis gets more yardage on no-nothing plays for a running back. It's amazing.
And, you know, he's one of those guys out there. He's a bounce back, and when you go down there, he looks small from up here, but he's not a small man.
3rd down and 3 for the Hornets. Bakapuna said, hey, stop me once, stop me twice. Sidestep, stays on his feet. The little tractor that could Ryan Osborn keeps on moving. You've been around there with Michael Bakapuna. He's amazing.
Not only is he amazing, but I talked to Coach Gary Campbell about him during this week, and he mentioned that Bakapuna, one of the things that he does so well is add in a little bit of elusiveness. So yes, he can go into the contact and body you up and bowl you over, but he says he has some really good sneaky elusiveness.
And he's shown it just there on that play. 1st down and 10. Throw it quick out in the flat. There's a gaggle of people in front. Nice catch there by Jeremy Gonzalez, who refuses to go down. He keeps going, and finally Gonzalez decides, I'll just sit down at the 25 on a beautiful screen pass by the Hornets.
30 yards. Listening to Twitter, watching Twitter earlier this spring when he announced he's coming to Fullerton. Very excited to come to Fullerton, and he's one of those players that Fullerton was excited to have. You can see why.
Nunez brings him out. Bakapuna still in running back. They pick to Bakapuna. Picks up a blitz across the middle. Oh, almost pulled down. And guys, I thought it was a beautiful pass. We get a flag on the play.
I'm not so sure. I mean, I know he had his left hand out, but it must have been egregious to throw that flag. But again, Cameron Woods almost came up with the catch. And I couldn't see who the flag was on, if it was on Demarion Smith or not.
Pass interference against Southwestern. Ryan Osborn, you said they grabbed a part of the shoulder collar?
Yeah, just around the shoulder collar. Just prevents him from getting his outstretched arm there right before he has the opportunity to go up for the football. So that's the difference, Mark, is that if that ball is already in the air and fought for, you know, you kind of keep the handkerchief in the pocket, but in that case, it was before he had an opportunity to battle for it.
So it's going to move the ball down inside the 10. It'll be 1st and goal at the 9. Gonzalez, far side of the field. Fox Hagen over there. Going across the middle again, incomplete pass. Nunez just leads him a little. How about offensive lineman Corey Neyland down on the turf.
Andrew Sanders II. Sammy Garcia was retaliating. And again, fortunate that he didn't pick up a personal foul call of unsportsmanlike conduct.
So it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 9 for the Hornets with 11:47 to go here in the 2nd quarter. The Hornets up 14-0 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Nunez looks things over. Garnett Davis III in running back. Garnett Davis III turns the corner, goes down to the 5, maybe the 4 on SportsNetUSA.net.
Carries Arbach with him for a couple yards. And I want to see Garnett Davis and Bakapuna in at the same time.
Nunez pitches it to Garnett Davis III. And Corey, I tell you what, that was like opening up a can of tuna. The cats from the house, the Jaguars were all over it.
Yeah, that play did smell. That was not good.
Almost like a meatless sandwich, you know, maybe peanut butter, lettuce, and mayonnaise. It's one of the coach's favorites. Did you guys know that? Coach Robinson told me that was one of his favorite sandwiches.
Growing up.
He still feeds it to his kids now. 4th and goal. The Hornets have decided they're going to go for it. Garnett Davis III in at running back.
Do we see an option?
Nunez. We're going to get timeout on the field. And Garrett comes out there, and Garrett Campbell says, whoa, Nelly, let's hold it up just a second. 10:43 to go here on SportsNetUSA.net in the first half. It's the Hornets 14, the Jaguars 0 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Don't forget, all our games are brought to you by Discount Markets of Fullerton, located on Raymond between Chapman and Commonwealth. You can't miss it. I tell you what, it's a big old sign out there that says Discount Markets. So walk on in, say hi to Jenna, Isabel, Sam, the manager. Tell them the old guy from SportsNetUSA.net sent you over there. And they'll let you know every special they've got in the store. As a matter of fact, Garrett Campbell, the head coach right now, is just getting on the phone, calling Discount Markets and saying, what is your next special? Because that's the play I'm going to call for this next touchdown for the Hornets here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And also on SportsNetUSA.net. LA Valley at Santa Ana. Santa Ana hosting. LA Valley's up 3-0 in the second quarter.
Hornets coming out. Nunez at quarterback. Austin Levias to the near side of the field. Jeremy Gonzalez in the slot in the far side of the field. Garnett Davis III at running back. Big fourth down play. Nunez keeps it himself and cannot get out of the backfield.
And tremendous play by the Jaguars. They weren't fooled at all about what was coming. You fake the handoff and you go up the middle. That's that Ricardo Alvarez who makes the stop for the Jaguars. And you got to wonder, why hesitant not to throw it into the end zone for 6?
Yeah, with 10:38 to go. And, I mean, this was a fast start by the Hornets here in the first quarter. And now, guys, well, it feels like the rain has come down because everybody's playing like it's in a muddy field right now. We'll see if the Jaguars can do something here to move up the field with 10:38 to go. Decide to run it one more time, and the Hornets, again, Corey, you talked about the lack of a running game for the Jaguars, but this is a stifling run defense that Brian Crooks has.
Yeah, and they're fast at that second level. That time, that was Jeremy Naborn.
Second down and 10 for Southwestern at the 10-yard line. Hornets looking to do something. Haven't made that big pick. We've seen special teams come up. Defense has found a way for a turnover. Wojcik goes to go over. Almost a pick, Corey Neyland. It was missed. And if you sell yourself out to get the pick, then what do? You leave yourself out there to get in trouble. And that's what they did against Jovan Young, who just said, it's mine, and takes it for a big gain all the way out to the 33.
Yeah, you got to love the confident call by the Jaguars to throw it to the outside. Ty Milton was on it. He left his feet, didn't come up with the tip. And Jovan Young is one of those guys who can do some damage with.
Jovan Young stays to the side. Wojcik goes to the far side of the field. Looks again for the middle. Incomplete. And you had a receiver right there, Corey, in Savion Robinson. Looked like he was more concerned about where the defender was than he was about catching the football.
Yeah, I wasn't going to catch it because Thaddeus Jones closed quick. I don't think that was going to be a completed pass. He didn't go up at his highest point either, and that hurt him. But again, Thaddeus Jones played the ball, knocked it out. You'd like to see Robinson be a little bit more aggressive, as you said, going for that catch.
Second down and 10 at the 33. Again, Young comes in near by the field. Far side of the field is Robinson. Wojcik looks, goes back. They're going to run a screen pass. And on there, Corey, if you're getting blocked, don't block a defender in the path of the individual that's going to get the screen pass.
And that's Jeremiah McNeely. Jeremiah McNeely, it was set up perfectly by the Jaguars, but McNeely blew it up as he read the screen from his secondary position and closed quickly. That's why he'll be an All-American again.
Third down and 9 at the 35 with 8:48 to go. Here in the first half, it's the Hornets 14, the Jags 0 on SportsNetUSA.net. Big play. Roll out. Pressure goes out. Coming after the quarterback. Throws it back to the far side of the field. And there's a young man that's made a difference in this game as Young comes back and helps his quarterback, who was in trouble, breaks his route, comes back as the quarterback scrambles, catches the ball, turns it up the field, and gets a first down for the Jaguars.
29 yards on the pitch and catch. So Jovan Young was one of those guys that Brian Quicks was worried about on the outside. They've got two, Robinson on the right, Young on the left, and Young, team's second leading receiver. Shows why he has tremendous skills.
Young to the near side of the field. Robinson to the far side of the field. Going to keep quarterback keeper. Quarterback looks to go down, gets spun. It'll be one of the, is that the first sack of the night for the Hornets?
Second.
Chris
Harm is in there per usual for the Hornets, along with Michael Small.
Loss of 5 on the play.
So Hill and Junior Kennedy on the right side of the line. Neesmith and Torres on the left side. Biso, McNeely, and Harm, the backers. Jones, Grant, Little, and Ashford are the secondary.
Second down and 14. Straight up the middle. Gain about 3. They're going to mark it at the 40 on a straight dive play. Taken there by Williams. So Williams. Or was that Flores?
That was Flores.
Okay.
And for Southwestern, you got to go to your hot guy and look for Jovan Young. Unless he's double teamed and blanketed, I think I'm going to trust him to win that one-on-one matchup.
Well, I'll take Young or Robinson. Either one of them have had great hands. Robinson's looking over the bench going, where do I belong? And they said in the slot. Third down 11, right at the 40. Wojcik looks to get away. Gets trapped by 1. Gets sacked again at the 49-yard line. And Ryan Osborn, I know you're looking at me, ignoring me through this whole broadcast.
And there's going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct foul against
the Hornets.
Torres and Neesmith celebrating after the half sack each.
So it would be a dead ball foul. The fourth down would stand.
But
it's unsportsmanlike conduct. So with an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, no matter the yardage, Corey, you mark off 15 and it's an automatic first down. So for those that are at home said, wait a minute, it looked like it was about a 35-yard. It doesn't matter. And so the Hornets from taunting pay a price with 6:24 to go here in the first half.
Neesmith and Torres out the game right now.
Shoot yourself in the foot, and you know what? You're going to bleed all over the floor. That's a quote from Ed Ford here on sports@usa.net. Look to run the thing. Flores goes around the corner, gets to the corner, and gets taken down on a nice tackle by Kearns, who doesn't let him get it to the outside.
Flossmoor, Illinois product, Homewood High School. And he's looking to be a first-team all-conference. He really steadies the ship in the secondary for the Hornets. Wojcik this 11 of 15 for 116 yards thus far. You said Jovan Young, 6 receptions, 93 yards. Savion Robinson has 3 catches marked for 19.
Jags come out. They feel like they've had the ball this entire second quarter with 5:35 to go. Put on a lot of yardage. No points yet. Here they come again. Try to run it one more time with Flores to the far side. It's going to be a gain of 1. It's going to bring up a third down and 15 for the Jaguars. Go ahead, Corey.
There's just nowhere to run for the Jaguars. And again, you're going to have to rely on the pass to open up the run.
So it'll bring up a big third down with 5 minutes to go. We'll see if the Hornets can get to the quarterback. Trips to the left. Here they come with a big blitz. Trying to get the quarterback. And he just has a marshmallow roast at the 50 and invited a lot of people from another school. for a kumbaya session, and the Hornets accept it.
You know how they do half sacks? Can you divide sacks by sevenths?
Well, it all depends where you went to college at.
Okay, so everybody gets a half a sack. 7 halves.
4th down at the 49.
There's 5 team tackles for the Hornets tonight. That's team tackle number 6.
Corey, are you surprised that they're not going to punt the ball away?
No, because right here, they're going to punt it. It's going to be a quick kick.
Okay, the official called a quick official timeout with 4 minutes to go. Now the Jags go with a quick kick. Here's the punt down the middle of the field, and it's going to hook out of bounds. I'm going to say at the 20 is where they ought to spot it. At the 21 is where they're going to spot it. So there's 3 minutes, 50 seconds to go here in the second quarter. It's the Hornets 14, Southwestern 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan, you're going to be around at halftime to talk maybe a little more football that happened at Fullerton this weekend?
I will indeed. I'll be able to talk about this Hornet offense and Hornet defense. Some of what I talked about with Coach Garrett Campbell earlier this week. A little bit about the linebackers as well, in addition to an update on the rankings and the out-of-town scoreboard.
So,
do you need Gabby to come on the air with you?
3:50 to go. Let's see if the Hornets can get something going on. Going to trade up at quarterback. Nathan Cornley comes in. Hands it off to Bakapuna. Bakapuna at the 40. Bakapuna looks for somebody to run into. Can one of you guys tell Elvis that you're supposed to run away from your fans?
Not when they have the angle, so that when you know they have the angle on you, they're going to catch you, then you initiate contact. 21 yards on the run. You initiate that, Mark.
I think Elvis was leaving an autograph, to be truthful. First down and 10 at the 45. Cornley says, well, you know what? Sing it again, Elvis. He said, I will. Does a little short number for the crowd who's staying behind here.
Unofficially, that's 8 carries for 70 yards.
And, I'm going to say officially that's 8 carries for 70 yards when Corey says it.
1 touchdown run, 1 touchdown pass.
Neyland Smith comes out to the near side of the field. In the slot next to him is going to be Jordan Tate. Cornley at quarterback. 2nd down and 6 at the 50. Here comes the pressure. Throws it in the flat. Finally gets it to Foxhagen, who can't make the turn.
But Cornelli did a nice job of staying in there. It looks like a flag on the play, too. But we talked to Cornelli earlier today, and he was talking about just discussing the game. And he mentioned that he, plays. He said, yeah, you're a quarterback. Go out there and
So you did see a flag, Corey. It was personal foul, roughing the quarterback. Yeah, it was fun with Cornley because you were talking about how to say his name, and he goes, oh, I'm not important. I don't play that often. I come in maybe as a 3rd string, and we all responded and said, no, you're a Hornet quarterback.
who plays. So Cornelli does a nice job out there.
So it's roughing the passer against Southwestern. Let's move that all the way down to the 36. First down and 10.
Now,
For
guys,
the Hornets.
if we can just now learn how to say Fox's name, we'll be okay.
Yeah, I wish we'd have met him in the field. Well, I can say Fox.
Oh,
I have no
yeah.
problem saying Fox. Hounds I have problems with. Fox and Hounds. Cornley goes back into the corner. On the money touchdown, Fullerton College. What a throw to Neyland Smith.
And that's Neyland Smith's 3rd touchdown this season and Cornelli's 1st touchdown pass this year. That was nice. No, that 3rd touchdown, long has been 56, and that one was as pretty as any.
I tell you what, and the pressure was coming, Corey, and he did what you said to do. If you're going to get hit, throw a touchdown, and that's exactly what he did.
Might as well out of Villa Park.
So with 2:28 to go, they look to put their 21st point on the board. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. With 2:28 to go here in the first half, it's now your Fullerton College Hornets 21, Southwestern 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey, Ryan, the old guy, happy to bring you all the games. here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Don't forget, Tuesday, Cyprus Soccer, Tuesday afternoon. The women are playing here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So tune in for all our games here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey, Santa Ana still has their game going on. I don't know if we got any updates on the score for Santa Ana.
Last check, 3-0 in the second. Still LA Valley up 3-0.
That game also tonight on Sportsnet, USA.net.
East LA also playing at 6 p.m. today, and that's also on Sportsnet, USA.net.
So the Hornets up 21-0 on Sportsnet, USA.net. Guys, I'm sort of feeling good about my second number when we all give each other scores at lunchtime.
Could be. You're on pace.
Deep kick. Taken at the 3. Far side of the field. Driven out of bounds. And they're going to mark him out at the 27. So we'll see what happens here with Southwestern as they come out in the last 2 minutes and 21 seconds. And here, Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, you need to be careful if you're Southwestern because those defensive backs for the Hornets are going to be ball hawking with 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, just like Avery Brooks in the 80s. If you get that reference, you watch too much TV from the 80s.
Robinson comes to the near side of the field. Young on the far side of the field. Quick flip. Taken. Thrown out of bounds.
And Quentin Ashford, you can say he's a little bit excitable.
Just a wee bit. You know, sort of like Ryan Osborn.
Yeah, we've shown Ryan some, don't stoke his ire.
I tell you.
Bzzz.
Second down at 5. Going deep into no man's land. And really a miscommunication on a route, Corey, because Young wasn't going downfield. He stopped on the route. He turns around and looks at his bench and says, I stopped after 10 yards.
Yeah, and that's the problem because if Young keeps running, that's a touchdown. Because DeJuan Grant had no idea where the ball was. Because if he knows where the ball is, he has an interception.
2 minutes and 10 seconds. Big 3rd down and 7 for Southwestern. Looking to find something here. If they could get close, get some points on the board, they're in this game. Trying to roll away from the pressure, throwing it out in the flat. What a pitch and catch out here as Young just runs to a spot, turns around, and the ball's right there waiting for him.
And what he does is he turns the cornerback around, Jordan Little, and once you get the corner's head around, then you got easy pickings on his long, deep out.
So big 1st down just at the 46-yard line.
Mark,
They flip the side of the field.
does Brian Crook sell out eventually?
I think he does. Throw it over here in the flat. There's a turn. It's a foot race. Corey Neyland, like I said, touchdown Southwestern.
He gets the block that he needs from the up back, and it's 6 points. Excellent block, and I believe that was Derek Patterson, who makes the block and frees up Jovan Young for 6.
And guys, as big as stops were made, that's a huge touchdown for the Jaguars. Instead of being shut out in the first half, being down by 21, they're only down by 2 touchdowns, and they score at the late few minutes on a big play. Not a luck play, not a chump play, but a big play before this half ends. Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. With 1:31 left in the first half, oops, flags abound after the point. So we'll see what went on.
while we're waiting, Wojcik 14 of 19. Not a bad percentage, 189 yards with that touch.
Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Hornets. Number 2 in the game. So once again, the Hornets, which has been notable for years since us guys have all been around sportsnetusa.net, not necessarily gentlemen of the game of football. More a little snobbery on the field, which has cost them with unsportsmanlike conduct and personal fouls.
Oh, you said that nicely, Mark.
Snobbery.
Yeah, because I was thinking more like not smart plays. So I think they called it on Southwestern.
Oh,
Yeah.
they did. He signaled towards Fullerton.
Yeah.
So
not smart plays.
not smart play. They called it on Southwestern as the official signal towards Fullerton. He meant to signal towards Southwestern. And Corey, that's not a smart play either.
Jovan Young, 8 receptions already, 161 yards.
Wow. Wow.
And Brian Crook said they got a good player out there, number 5.
He's smooth, isn't he?
He can do some things.
He is smooth. Looking for a receiver. We think we found you one in San Diego.
And he's 6'2", all of 205. Kind of Chaz Gwinish, former Hornet.
Little pop fly taken at the 20. Up the middle. Oh, need a block on the outside. Staying on your feet. Cut back in. Thrown down at the 32. Jeremy Gonzalez gets an opportunity. And Corey, beautiful return with 121 flags on the field.
And speaking of not smart plays, it looks like Southwestern's going to have another one go against them. Jeremy Naborn was on the ground, and the Southwestern defender maybe a little rough with him, if that's what they call Haji Musa.
So we'll wait and see what the official says with 1:21 to go here in the second quarter. It's against the Hornets.
Okay, yeah, so they're going to call the holding penalty.
So that's going to move it back to the 42 with 1:21 to go here on sportsnetusa.net.
So I caught the tail end of that when Musa was there. Naborn, it's still a pretty good run back for Gonzalez. With 1:21 to play, let's see if they can get 6.
Garnett Davis the third in at running back. Brandon Nunez the quarterback. Jordan Tate to the near side of the field. C.J. Broyce to the far side of the field in the slot. Nunez goes back, plants his feet across the middle of the field, gets it to Jordan Tate. Jordan Tate looking to follow a block. He follows Levias, gets across the 20, all the way down to the 18. So big pickup with 1:12 left to go. They stop the clock, move the chains, start the clock when the ball is set. Foxhagen comes out to the near side of the field. Nunez hands it off. Doesn't, fakes it, runs it down, says, hit me, touchdown, Fullerton College. Brandon Nunez says, fake it, run it, pick up a little speed. Hey, you a 5'8" can hit me because I'm bigger, tougher, meaner, and faster than you. Touchdown Hornets with 56.2 on the board.
And again, he read the play immediately. He saw Garnett Davis. He sees the linebackers break open and open up that wide part of the field. And with the speed and athleticism that he has, makes it an easy 6.
Ball is spotted, kick is up, and the kick is good. Yes.
That's the type of offense that we like to see Fullerton run. It's one of those things where they're always putting on pressure, and that's when we see Fullerton at their best, when they're always putting on pressure. When they put on the brakes a little bit and try to, say, okay, we're going to stop our momentum, we've got a lead, that's when they get in trouble.
That's true. Hey, guys, I tell you what, can we go home at halftime because I've almost got the final score of the game. It's 28-7. We just get in the car. I was the closest. Here with 56.2 seconds to go on sportsnetusa.net.
Gabby, Mark said he's going to take you to the car at halftime.
Yeah. Corey Neyland says, I'm happy. Gabby's happy. Ryan Osborn says, hey, Corey's getting loud. That means we may have to move. Moi. See, I speak French, too.
That means me.
Yeah, you.
No, moi means me, so you said
You.
moi.
You. That's
me
right.
means
You. I said you, pointing at me, which was you, because you're me, not you. If you were you, you wouldn't be me. And I'm not you, therefore it was you. Little pooch kick at the 30. Down at the 25 with 54.9 to go here in the first half on sportsnetusa.net. Aren't you glad you're not an educator? You know, because students could take you to the rack if you're an educator.
Ryan Osborn's best day.
Oh, a Southwestern would like to have a day like Ryan. Wojcik throws it over in the flat. Up the field. They actually did. Big first down. Helmet comes off the Hornet. They're going to stop the clock at the 40. Move the chains.
And if you're looking at Southwestern right now, the 28-7 deficit with only 48 seconds, but you've shown the capabilities that you can score quickly, you're looking for 6 here.
Oh, yeah. I like what they're doing. They don't want to slow things down. They want to keep the pace going. Wojcik goes back. Same spot. Same play. Missed tackle. Gain of another 7. Down. Knocked out of bounds. Should stop the clock with 35.3. Save those timeouts. You've got 2 left for Southwestern. Takes it all the way down to the 46. Well, they're going to take a little away from them. I'd give it to them at the 46. They're going to give it to them at the 45. You can tell it's drizzling a little out there now, Corey. The referee's protecting the football before it gets set down. Second down and along 4 at the 45. Looking. Putt fake. Feels the pressure coming. Throws it away. And that's where you tuck it, take off running, and run out of bounds. Pick up a couple yards. And
He wasn't going to make it. He needs to
Okay.
get rid of that and throw that for an incomplete pass. And what happened was Biso broke up the play because he was going to the outside. And Biso jumped the route.
So Ryan Osborn says if you look up the lights, you can see the water coming down on the field right now. Raindrops falling on the helmets of the players. Big third down and 4. Pump fake. Going down deep. Defender slips. Receiver slips. Incomplete pass.
That's
flag on the play.
Helmet to helmet on Fullerton, negating an excellent outside play by Quentin Ashford.
So roughing the passer. Keep moving the chains.
Luckily, it was not helmet to helmet because that means you're out of the game, but it was roughing the passer. And you know what? It was beneficial that Quentin Ashford made such an excellent play because that allowed Wojcik to hold the ball even though he took punishment. An incomplete pass turns into 15 yards.
Harrington Stamps comes into the game now at running back. At Monte Vista High School. 5'8". Tries to pick up the block. Here comes the pressure. They meet at the quarterback. Sack number 4 in tonight's game for the Hornet defense.
Terrence Hansbrough with the stop. And again, Brian Crooks went to a zone. He's mixing up his defenses between man and zone. This time with the one-on-one last play, they went man-to-man. Ashford did a nice job. This time he goes zone.
Timeout on the field with 15.6 seconds to go. It's the Hornets 28, the Jaguar 7 here on SportsNetUSA.net.
But you saw Wolchuk wanted to go down the seam to hit his slot receiver, but they were in the zone too deep. Kadari Kearns was there, and the linebacker Chris Harms steps back and into the passing lane. So excellent defense by the Hornets.
So we'll see what happens with 15 seconds to go. If you're Southwestern, look for that big play to get down there close, maybe kick a field goal. If you can get within inside the yardage that you need, pull within 18 heading into the second half here on SportsNetUSA.net. Sabian Robinson goes to the far side of the field. Stamps the third, stays in at running back. Young comes to the near side of the field. Second down and a good 20 yards. Hornets are coming with pressure. Quarterback steps up, gets grabbed, throws it, goes out of bounds. Incomplete pass with 8.8 seconds.
Hansbrough Jr. again with the quarterback hurry. Colliersville High School in Tennessee. We know a guy in Tennessee right now.
I knew a couple people in Tennessee.
Yeah, one of ex-CRTV 145 student.
Ryan raised his hand. I thought he was moving to Tennessee. I'm going to Tennessee, man. Looking for myself, looking for a big farm. Throw over the flat. Short arms it. Incomplete pass. It's going to bring up a fourth down with 4.9 seconds. Here in the first half, it's the Hornets 28, Southwestern 7. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. Fourth down. Brian Crooks, does he sell out guys or does he go into prevent?
No, this is one where you pack everybody 8 at the goal line and knock it down.
4 up in front. 7. Well, linebackers are close. Timeout Southwestern. So they looked at the defense Brian Crooks was offering and said, no, we don't think so. It's almost like us walking into a restaurant we've never been in and Corey going, I don't think so. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. If it isn't something he can touch, not something that he's walked before on a leash, we're not eating there. Here on SportsNetUSA.net. Corey's going, wait a minute, what are we eating? Then again, maybe at your age, your taste has changed. We'll see before the second half starts here on SportsNetUSA.net.
So what Fullerton has done well in this game is they've been able to rush and pressure Wolchuk with only 4.
Same defense for Brian Crooks. They mirror the quarterback with a linebacker going deep off the back foot, down the field, knocked away. Incomplete pass. And that's going to bring us to the end of the first half. As we come to the end of the first half, it's the Hornets 28, Southwestern 7, here on SportsNetUSA.net.
And we welcome you to the half here on SportsNetUSA.net. My name is Ryan Osborn. Just a few moments ago, you heard from Mark Pavlovich and Corey Neyland as we are live here from Southwestern. Once again, at the half, our score is 28-7. When you take a look at Fullerton College, as of right now, sitting at 4-0 this season, and you look at how the Hornets have kind of played out this year to this point. They struggled a little bit against Santa Barbara. Then they go up to Canyons and have a beautiful showing as they go up and beat the Cougars almost essentially by the halfway point of that football game. Fullerton College was in full control, and by the third quarter or the end of the third quarter, Canyon said, hey, you know what? This game is done. You move it over to that East LA matchup. Plain and simple, Fullerton College looked fantastic. A 51-0 shutout, where the Fullerton College Hornets had one of their first shutouts in recent memory. We'll actually date it back to about 2017, 2018, where they played Moore Park at Moore Park. That's the last time you had to go back into Fullerton College's history and record books to find another shutout from the Fullerton Hornets. However, you move it to last week. Everybody said, okay, you dominate East LA at home. You get Mount San Jacinto at home, who is a team that, again, is moving up from the American Division, moving over to the National Division, and they have an opportunity to play against these big-time teams. So your initial reaction, at least on paper, is, okay, Fullerton College should come away with a victory easily. You should be looking at the first couple of quarters in that football game and saying Fullerton is up by 2, 3, 4 scores. Well, the way that that football game played out, Mount San Jacinto actually got the first punch in. You look at how Fullerton started off that game. Botched special teams play. It allows for Mount San Jacinto to get themselves on the board with a 4-yard touchdown pass to open up the scoring. Then Fullerton's next possession, they march down the field but aren't able to get it into the end zone. One of the biggest issues that Fullerton had in last week's matchup is once they got into the red zone in the early going, they weren't able to punch it across the goal line. You saw Fullerton drive down the field, 6 plays, 51 yards in just a minute and 58 seconds, but it all stalled inside the final 15 yards. Jonathan Faubert got the Hornets on the board to make it 7-3, but then after that, Fullerton was able to string together a couple of scores. Elvis Vacapuna, a 1-yard run to end off the first quarter of play, and then to start off the second, Fullerton got a 42-yard touchdown pass from Brandon Nunez, which was followed up just a little bit later by another Brandon Nunez touchdown pass as well. Fullerton, on paper, looked at the end of the game like they dominated the entire scoreboard and statistics. 44-20 was the final. But it doesn't really tell the whole story. You look at how Fullerton played out that matchup. By halftime, Mount San Jacinto's total yardage was sitting at just about 100 yards in total offense. Net yards rushing at the time was under 50 yards total. They finished with only 68 yards in total for rushing on the day, while Fullerton had 457 yards. 268 of those came before the half. The rushing game not quite as, well, we'll say up to par as what we're used to from Fullerton College in the previous 3 weeks prior to that. And the passing game, well, it was there. 19 of 37, 329 yards altogether. Fullerton had a couple of takeaways, but Mount San Jacinto did a really good job of holding the Hornets to below the offense, well, we'll say the offensive quota, the expectation that we had that was set from the previous 3 weeks right beforehand. Leading the way for Fullerton, Brandon Nunez, of course, who has been the starter for Fullerton, 14 of 28, 257, with a long of 47 and 4 touchdown passes to his credit. Garrett Larson stepped in there and went 4 for 4, 63 yards, a long of 33 with a touchdown as well. And in the rushing game, it was Elvis Vacapuna, 14 attempts, 72 yards, a long of 19 and 1 touchdown, with Garnett Davis III getting 9 attempts for just about 40 yards and a long of 12. Fullerton does end up getting the victory, but again, the score and the stats didn't really reflect the way that the Hornets played last week. And that was kind of mirrored a lot by the coaching staff that we ended up going out to talk to at practice during the week. We kind of talked to them and said, hey, what was the feeling after the game? What was the feeling for the Hornets once they finish off that game against Mount San Jacinto? And the feeling that we got told and what we were told was mirrored by the entirety of the team is that very simple. The team came out and was flat against Mount San Jacinto. They were able to turn it on more towards the second half and had a dominating second half, but flat was kind of the theme of the day last week against Mount San Jacinto. That's why the start in this matchup was so important for Fullerton College. They had to be able to get themselves on the board early and set a tone. Before the broadcast started, Mark, myself, Corey, we were all talking about who had to be good in this matchup for Fullerton if they're going to have a successful day. The number one matchup that Fullerton, in our opinion, had to be able to set the tone with was the offensive line. The offensive line is kind of that trendsetter for Fullerton. If the offensive line is able to get physical, get that first punch in, and they're able to drive the defensive line back, you see Fullerton have really good days. An example being that 51-0 game against East LA, where Fullerton was able to take the offensive line and lead them to victory through it. They were able to get a lot of spacing for Brandon Nunez, a lot of spacing for Elvis Vacapuna, and a lot of spacing for Garnett Davis III. And it gave Fullerton the opportunity to do whatever they wanted on offense because the O-line was rolling. Now, when you look at how this game has started for the Fullerton Hornets, one of the big things that you have seen to this point, and especially in that first quarter of play, is that the offensive line was giving Brandon Nunez and the offense the ability to do exactly as we're talking about. Just like what we saw in that East LA matchup, Fullerton College was able to go out with the offensive line, create a lot of open space, a lot of open field to work with, and it's none more evident than that touchdown where Elvis Vacapuna throws it on that double pass from inside the red zone on the left-hand side of the field. You see the offensive line move everyone over towards the left. Defense follows along with it, and Vacapuna is able to toss it over to the right-hand side for a touchdown. So Fullerton College to this point, reminder of the score, it's 28-7. The Fullerton College Hornets so far with the lead. Now, we're talking about at the half players who haven't played the game of football at the collegiate level, getting their first opportunity to go out there and experience what they have to offer, what the speed is like, what the impact is like when they're getting those first hits in as well. It's a very different way of playing the game of football, and they have to experience it live in week number 1 to really understand thoroughly what they're going to go through. That was one of the things he looked at in terms of growth from week 1 to week 2. You look at how Fullerton ended up going from week 2 to week 3. He said that's where you start getting into that fast lane, that fast track, where Fullerton starts to get themselves on a roll. Of course, that's the Canyons game that we're talking about, where you start things off with 2 straight takeaways by the defense, and they're just able to set the tone. They're just able to say, hey, you know what, we're the Fullerton College defense. We come out here and we set exactly the way that we want this football game to go. And when I asked him about how his quarterback play has not necessarily just performed so far this season, but how his quarterbacks have led this team so far this season, he mentioned that one thing he's really proud of is to be able to see all 4 guys go out there and be able to command the offense. Yes, Brandon Nunez is going to get the majority of snaps because he is the starter for this team, and he has given Fullerton the best opportunity to win each and every time that he has gone out there so far this season. But he also mentioned that guys 1 through 4, so far when they have gotten their reps, they have given Fullerton the opportunity to get up and down the field. That was no more evident than what you saw in the second half last week. And actually, you don't even have to go to last week. You can go to earlier in this ball game. In the second quarter, Mark Pavlovich called it earlier, you get a touchdown from a guy who, in his eyes, he said, hey, I'm a third stringer. Don't worry about my last name. But we looked at him from the broadcast standpoint, and Coach Garrett Campbell looks at him from the coaching standpoint and looks at each and every one of his guys at the quarterbacking position and says, no, you are a leader on this team, and I will count on you when your number is called. You see that right there from a guy who considered himself a third stringer. But just like Garrett Campbell told me during the week, he is able to go to each and every one of these guys and say, lead our offense. It doesn't matter who's in there. I want you to lead our offense through the system that we have and give us success. Now, when I went over to the running backs and also the wide receivers, one thing that he did mention is that he loves the physicality that his running backs have. Corey Neyland, Mark Pavlovich, myself, we have all talked about the physicality that Fullerton College has brought so far through Michael Vacapuna, through Garnett Davis III. I mean, last year we actually talked to Garnett Davis III and said, hey, Garnett, how would you describe yourself as a running back? Are you more of an elusive guy? Are you a speed guy? Are you a guy that is going to go out into the flat and catch passes? How would you describe yourself when it comes to you being a running back, not just in this Fullerton offense, but just in general? What is your style? And he said he is the type of person that if he gets the opportunity, he will find the nearest guy and put a body into him. Initiate that contact so that way he can get through it, get himself into a rhythm, and get going with the game. Then you look at a guy like Elvis Vakapuna, who has continually showed that he is more than willing to put a body into someone. And like you saw earlier, he had a run of 22 yards where he was breaking tackles left and right, but not breaking tackles in the traditional sense that you'll think of where you're seeing a guy who's just juking his way out of things. Elvis Vakapuna goes into people. He goes off their hip. He goes off their shoulder. He pops off of their gear to give him a chance to move forward. That's one thing that Garrett Campbell said he really enjoys seeing from the both of them, because he says when either one of those two guys go out onto the field, it's not going to be about changing the offense. It's not going to be about changing the play call style around either one of those two. He said the biggest points of emphasis with both of those two players is, are they able to, in the system that Fullerton currently employs, go out there and be able to use their strengths in the system and get yardage and get touchdowns. And he said he's been really happy with the way that they've been able to go out there and do so. Wide receiving core, he says he loves the physicality, loves the fact that they're able to go out there and use their speed, use that to their advantage, and also catch with their hands. But one thing that he did mention is he mentioned that his wide receiving core is very young. That was the word that he used, that he said his emphasis is that they're very young. They're still needing a little bit more experience. Now, I asked him, because it was brought up on our broadcast a couple weeks ago, how come guys in the slot like Koenig, like Marcus, like Juwan Johnson, like Manyweather have so much success in his offense? And he said it's very simple. We have guys on the outside who are big, fast, and can catch the football. And what that does is it opens up space, because guys are so worried about the quarterback. They're so worried about the running back. They're so worried about going out wide. They leave the middle of the field wide open, and it gives guys like a Koenig, like a Marcus, like a Juwan Johnson, like a Manyweather, a lot of opportunity to work in that space. And if they're able to find their space, they're able to get success. When you look at how Fullerton has done so far, well, the growth is there. The coaching staff is happy with the growth from this entire staff to this point, but they want to see a little bit more. And that's where you start to see how Fullerton can improve, how they can get themselves back into not just the top 5 in the state of California, but also find themselves back into the playoff, is through that growth. And that's one thing that I was able to talk with Garrett Campbell about, was his, not just his entire team, but kind of go position by position with the offense, what he's looking for, how he looks at his teams performance-wise, leadership-wise, growth-wise. And he said overall he's very proud of this team and where they are to this point. But he says he looks at this team and he says he can't allow for them to kind of coast their way in towards the bye week, because Southwestern, as he mentioned, is a really tough opponent who is very physical, very fast, has guys on the outside who can make plays, who can open up a game. And they can't look past towards the bye week without getting past Southwestern, because Fullerton has played Southwestern very hard in the last 4 meetings that each of them have had. I mean, just go back to 2019, where Fullerton was a heavy favorite at home, and Southwestern came to Fullerton with one of the best rushing attacks in the entire nation and was able to upset the Hornets in overtime with a near side touchdown. Southwestern has always played Fullerton tough, especially when they are on the road. But that's enough from the Fullerton Southwestern aspect of things. Very quickly, let's update you on the rankings. How are things going across the state of California and in the CCCAA? Let's quickly go to the 1 through 10 in terms of the rankings overall in the state of California. College of San Mateo with 8 first-place votes, a 4-0 record. They continue to stay at number 1. Now, reminder, that's before this game has started. We're going to get to the out-of-town scoreboard in just a little bit. But before today's game has started, College of San Mateo with 8 first-place votes and a 4-0 record at number 1. Tied at 2 was City College of San Francisco, who was also 4-1, and Riverside City College, who is also 4-0. Then Mount Sac and Fullerton finally slides back in to the top 5. Remember, they had slid a couple of spots from their preseason ranking of 5 because other teams had had pretty impressive showings, like in American River, who moved up from number 11 all the way up to number 4 in recent weeks because of how dominant they had been. But Fullerton is now back in at number 5. Right behind them are the first stretch of 3-1 teams, American River, Butte, joined by Golden West and Cerritos, and then the last undefeated team outside of the top 5 in Fullerton is Contra Costa. So you look at those rankings, and once again, that's San Mateo, San Francisco, Riverside City, Mount Sac, Fullerton, American River, Butte, Golden West, Cerritos, and Contra Costa. Now let's take a look at the out-of-town scoreboard. You've started off with Golden West and Citrus. 31-21. Golden West with the win over Citrus at home, which is impressive because remember a couple weeks ago where we were talking about how Citrus has continued to get wins. 18 straight wins at one point, including an American Division Championship. All that changed last week where Citrus ended up getting a loss, and now for the first time in nearly 3 years, they have back-to-back losses. Citrus falls to 3-2. Golden West moves to 4-1. San Mateo and Butte. Remember, just a few moments ago, we were talking about San Mateo as as the number 1 team in California and number 1 in the nation, and then Butte sitting right outside the top 5 at number 7. Well, that's going to change. Butte with a 30-28 win over San Mateo. Butte got 30 points combined, 16 in the first, 14 in the third, and they were able to hold off a very late, huge charge from San Mateo. San Mateo had 21 points in the fourth quarter of play to get themselves back into it, make it a 30-28 ball game. But Butte is able to hang on, and they get a 4-1 record. San Mateo gets their first loss in quite some time. So a 30-28 win for Butte. They take down number 1 in California and number 1 in the nation. San Francisco, coming into this last week, was ranked at number 2, tied with Riverside. They're probably going to move up to number 1 after a 49-35 win over top of Sierra. They got 14 points in the first, second, and third quarters and were able to coast the rest of the way. American River now moves to 4-1 with a 45-20 win over Modesto, who is ranked in the top 25. So they're going to move up along with Allen Hancock, who gets a 17-10 win over top of Moore Park. Across Southern California, coming to a close, Canyons looks like they're going to hang on for a victory over Antelope Valley. Canyons currently 29, Antelope Valley 7 in the fourth quarter of play with just about 4 minutes left to go in that one. A final from up north once again as we close the books on Northern California. Fresno City 28-6, they beat Laney. Now remember, Laney just a couple years ago was in the state playoff but just not able to have that same success this season. Mount Sac, who is in the top 5, continues their winning ways, 33-0. They lead it at the start of the third quarter. Once again, going into half against San Bernardino Valley, 33-0. Mount Sac with the lead. Ventura, 35-7. They lead it coming out of the half against Santa Barbara. And the number 2 team in the state of California, 31-10. They lead Mount San Jacinto at the stadium in Menifee, the brand new home of the Mount San Jacinto Eagles. To round out our out-of-town scoreboard, we've got Saddleback and San Diego Mesa, who are just finishing up the first half of play. A 17-17 all draw between both of those two teams at the half. Once again, Saddleback and San Diego Mesa tied at 17 as they get set to come into the third quarter of play. And once again, why that's important for Fullerton? Because Fullerton, coming out of the bye week, will play San Diego Mesa at San Diego. That wraps up the rankings, the out-of-town scoreboard, and an update from Garrett Campbell. Let's move on to the third quarter of play with the broadcasters for your Fullerton College Hornets, Mark Pavlovich and Corey Neyland.
Thank you, Ryan Osborn. Ryan, I think really the game to look at in that entire thing before you go away, I'm surprised at the Saddleback score.
Yeah, and the way that Saddleback has actually played, I mean, they've beaten Ventura. They have been competitive against teams like Riverside City College as well. Saddleback is a very sneaky good team so far in Southern California, and one that we're going to have to watch for up until that matchup against Fullerton.
Yeah, and I think San Diego Mesa, when we come back in a week and a half, guys, is a team we need to watch out for too, because if Fullerton lets its guard down, those last games that we think might be important won't mean anything to anybody except if you're going to a bowl game. Woo! Who wants to go to just a bowl game here on Sportsnet, USA.net? Well, Ryan Osborn gets all that energy, that vivacious attitude, because he shops at Discount Markets of Anaheim. Don't forget, you're looking for that place to go, looking for those special deals, buying as much as you can, the quality that you want. No better place to go than Discount Markets of Fullerton, located on Raymond, between Chapman and Commonwealth, in the lovely city of Fullerton. Discount Markets. Go see Jenna, Isabel, and the manager, Sam. All three of the ladies will make sure you find what you want. Well, let's get ready for an exciting second half of community college football. Corey, Ryan, and the old guy here on Sportsnet, USA.net. The Hornets up 21-7. Southwestern will receive the kickoff on a drizzly night. Is that the best way to put it, guys? A drizzly night out there? Corey Neyland, you walk Gabby to the car. Did she get wet?
No, stop raining.
Oh, there you go. Gordon to the near side of the field. Young to the far side of the field. Javon Young, maybe the star for Southwestern in this game?
Yes, because he's a big play difference. Alex Wolchik has done a nice job and quarterback being harassed all game long in that first half. We'll get to some stats in that first half as this third quarter moves along.
So we'll see if the young man who's been the star so far can get his hands on it.
And that'll be Villarreal who'll be kicking off.
Nice turnout from the fans from Fullerton. They traveled down. Find Corey Neyland. Kick deep. Young's going to go look at it as it goes out of the end zone for a touchback. So Southwestern will come out on offense, and we'll see if they can find something going on. This is the big thing that maybe Corey Neyland on that first play. You throw the bomb, go deep, sort of wake up the Hornets. You're only down by 21 if you can get that big play right about now. Southwestern can fight their way back into this game on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and the old guy. Happy to bring you all the games here on Sportsnet, USA.net. We get a little ball wet, so they're going to dry it off and start things off again. They're going to bring it to the near hash marks. Set it down, start things again with 15 minutes on the clock and a brand new second half here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Southwestern, quick little thing. Right there to Robinson. Robinson almost gets up to the 35. Gain of 9 on the play.
So again, they found some type of rhythm here late in the second quarter. And they're continuing to go to Robinson and Young on the outside. Let's see if they continue those quick slant patterns.
Second down and 1. Come back out the line of scrimmage. Young and Robinson out wide for Southwestern. Hand it off straight up the middle. Can't go anyplace. And once again, the running game really hasn't produced what they needed to produce against this stout Hornet defense.
Yeah, Wojcik now is 18 for 27, 225 yards with the touchdown. Jovan Young finished the first half with 161 yards. Savion Robinson finished with 51 on 7 catches. That was his 8th now for 60.
The coach staff for Southwestern wanted to get 6 new players in the game. So went to a tight formation. Third down and no place to go. Ball comes out on the ground. Who comes up with it? Hornets get the turnover right at the 34. So a bad snap, a bad bobble, and Corey, they come away with the big turnover.
Jeremiah McNeely comes up. And McNeely, again, one of those players who was an All-American last year, looks to be an All-American this year, came in with 26 tackles to lead the team, 5 tackles for loss, and 1.5 sacks. Now add to his stats a fumble recovery.
Brandon Nunez comes in at quarterbacks. Levias comes out to the far side of the field. Next to him is Fox. We say Hagen up here. So if the name is wrong, please let us know here on sportsnetUSA.net. Brendan Nunez looks things over. Nunez rolls away from the pressure, says, I'll keep it myself. The big young man goes down the field. This time he tucks it, Corey Neyland, and he does what you say to do. If there's nothing there, young man, go west, maybe go south, go east. I don't know which direction he was running, but whatever it was positive.
Go forward. When you're 6'5", 225 pounds, it's easy to go forward and challenge defenders.
Gain of 8 on the play. 2nd down and 2. Garnett Davis, the third, in at running back. Hands it off to Garnett. Garnett goes right into the tackle. So he was going to make a jump cut. When he jumps, there was somebody saying, jump into my arms. Looked like a first date. And he didn't get any flowers. 3rd down and 5 for the Hornets. So they were going forward. Now they've done a foxtrot. They've gone back just a little. Big 3rd down and 5 for the Hornets at the 28-yard line. Leland Smith comes to the near side of the field. Jordan Tate inside of him there. Nunez looks at the play. Goes back. Needs to get some blocking. Throws across the middle of the field. Right there is Jordan Tate. Nobody covering him. 1st down, Hornets.
And you guys, Brandon Nunez does not make that play last year as it might be coming back, or if it's going to be a late hit, we just don't know. But again, Brandon Nunez wouldn't make that play last year. He would have probably taken off to run, or that's a sack. This year, composure completes a pass down the field.
And Corey, one of the things that he mentioned to us actually during this season, when we got a chance to talk to him, was the fact that he mentioned that himself too, is that he had the opportunity to realize, hey, I'm bigger, I'm stronger, I've got a lot of speed and quickness to me, and he's got the ability to bring that leverage and that knowledge from last year into this year. He said he's been a lot more decisive, and he said he's not afraid to get into that contact to make a play.
So it was a face mask penalty on the play. Moves it right down. Back shoulder pass.
And here's where the Hornets don't need to go Seattle Seahawks in the Super Bowl and throw the ball at the 2. That was almost picked. Good coverage on the outside corner. I believe that was Demarion Smith.
So they go to an I formation. Garnett Davis III is the dot in the I. We'll see if he can bring that penmanship home. They handed him, follows the blocker. Touchdown, Fullerton College. Little delay by the officials. I had him home in the car and ready to go someplace as the Hornets get on the board with Garnett Davis III.
And for Garnett, that's his 3rd touchdown. Does a nice job near the goal line. On the day, that's 7 carries for 9 yards, 2 touchdowns.
So they'll spot the ball at the 10. The ball is spotted. The kick is up, and the kick is good. With 11:56 to go, it's the Hornets 35. Southwestern 7 here on SportsnetUSA.net.
And I apologize, that's 1 touchdown for Garnett Davis III just now. Brandon Nunez in that first half, 7 of 10 for 94 yards. Nathan Cornelli, 1 for 136, had that touchdown. Michael Vakapuna, Elvis, 1 for 129 yards and a touchdown. Rushing, Brandon Nunez in that first half, 5 carries, 64 yards. Elvis Vakapuna, 7 carries, 48 yards. Cameron Woods had 11 yards on a reverse end around. Receiving, Jordan Tate had 4 catches, make it 3 catches in that first half for 40 yards. Now 4 for 59.
Young to the far side of the field. We'll see if the ball gets kicked in his direction here with 11:56 to go here in the third quarter. The Hornets 35, Southwestern 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Southwestern looking for a big return. A lot of foot. Young's going to back up. Takes it at the goal line. Looks to cut to the outside. Skips over somebody, gets taken down at the 22. So with 11:49 to go. Here in the third quarter, it's the Hornets 35, Southwestern 7. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
And so fumble last possession for Southwestern to start the second half. They're going to need something positive to happen, as Ty Milton is one corner on the near side. Quentin Ashford, corner on the far side. I want to welcome everybody from Phoenix City, Alabama, who's watching this Hornet broadcast.
See if Southwestern can find an answer to the Hornets. They made a mistake. The Hornets made them pay. Try to run it off a right tackle. And Corey Neyland, this is where maybe you might see more of a running attack to slow down that defensive juggernaut against the pass attack.
I just don't see it happening the way Fullerton is controlling that line of scrimmage with Hill, Crawford, Harris, and Junior Kennedy.
Second down at 7. They run it again here to the right side. Running tack, first down, won't go down all the way down to the 45. And you know what they just say to Mr. Pavlovich? Stamps.
I was going to say, like we both just said, we both said it, that Southwestern was going to keep the ball on the ground.
Mr. Stamps the third, the young man, 5'8", 210 pounds, out of Monte Vista High School in San Diego, sophomore running back, doing something for Southwestern. Big first down. Hey, if it keeps working, keep running it. Flip it up the middle, change your running back. Same thing goes on, moving it forward. So Southwestern says, you know, maybe the old guy upstairs knows something about football.
Maybe.
You know me, I don't cop the technology and I don't cop to being an expert.
You said it. Not an expert.
Not an expert. That's the last thing I want to be.
In football, here's Harms. You like that segue. Here's Harms, the middle backer, McNeely, and Biso.
Second down and along 7. Once again, follow the big men. Corey Neyland, you just keep running the football. And now in the backfield, Raymond Flores. And Raymond Flores, 5'10", 210 pounds, out of Southwestern High School, the freshman. He's been out there tonight. And the running attack is working on an over-aggressive defensive line for the Hornets.
Yeah, those quick hitters are slowing them up just a little, and let's see if they're going to run it one more time or if they're going to try to open it up.
Flores at running back, 3rd down and 1. Almost a step. Movement on the line of scrimmage. They don't throw it. The tackle moved. They hand it off to Flores, and Flores gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage. Corey, you saw the defensive line pointing, and yes, the right tackle for the Jaguars flinched when the linebackers came up.
Yes, they did, but no call. So no call, no flinch. Brings up 4th down and 2 yards to go.
So a big 4th down. Change things out.
Wojcik showed that he can move out of the pocket. So, well, let's see if they keep it on the inside or if they throw it, put it in the air.
Clayberry Dokes now in the slot on the right-hand side for the Jags. We'll see if they go in his direction. Here they come. Quick kick. And that goes out at the 27-yard line for a punt of roughly 18 yards here on Sportsnet, USA.net. I agree. I don't understand the logic behind that.
You can understand the punt being a 4th and 2. Can't really understand the quick scenario.
So Fullerton comes on out. Brandon Nunez at quarterback. Michael Vakapuna in at running back. We'll see what Vakapuna does. First down and 10. They hand it off to Vakapuna, trying to get to the far corner. He does. He sees a door open. He looks through it, then is told he must go home. No gain on the play. .8:13 to go. Nunez sets everybody out again. In the slot on the left-hand side, Jeremy Gonzalez. Hasn't been that active as a receiver tonight. Sure-handed Jeremy hasn't had the ball thrown that many times to his direction. They throw it in here to the right side. Ball, contact, made at the same time. Not caught by Jabre. And I'm going to see if you can help me with the last name, Ryan.
Bevineau.
Bevineau, is that how you said? Okay. Thank you, Ryan Osborn. Oh, that was Corey Neyland? You know what? You and Ryan sound identical. I'd probably get lost in a maze if you were both out there with me.
That's what happens when you sound smooth, Mark.
Speaking of smooth, Nunez needs to be that here. Going deep, looking for the middle of the field. Thrown there, ball goes up, incomplete. Beautiful defense, Corey Neyland, against Austin Levias was there, but better defense on him.
Michael Boone, it looks like on coverage, step for step with Levias, and Fullerton's going to need to punt it away.
So the defense comes through for the Jaguars in a big way, puts the Hornets punting it from the 20 with 7:46 to go. It's the Hornets 35, Southwestern 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, and the old guy, happy to bring you this game to you. Big leg. Watch, is going to hit at the 40, goes down to the 30. It's going to check up right at the 29 with 7:35 to go. Here in the second half, it's the Hornets 35, the Jaguars 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Don't forget next weekend, no football here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Little soccer next Tuesday at Cypress College on Sportsnet, USA.net. That game in the afternoon, the young ladies will be playing. You can get that game at 3 o'clock on Sportsnet, USA.net. Run it once, run it twice. Keep running the football. I like what the Jaguars are doing. A missed face mask on the play. Hand came across the face, wasn't grabbed. Scraped the face mask, but no holding on the play, no flag on the play.
No gain on the play.
Second down and 10 at the 30.
And that was a 45-yard punt by Mamana. His long this season has been 48.
So we'll see now if the passing play comes together. Savion Robinson looking at throwing it over into no man's land, and the Hornets nicely on a jump pass.
It was a dink pass. Tried to dink it. Incomplete.
Corey, Ryan Osborn is saying...
He's saying intentional grounding, but wasn't that a receiver or was that a lineman?
No, it was a receiver.
Okay.
See, my thought was the receiver had already exited that area. He was in the middle of the field near the hash marks, and that ball lands outside the numbers.
Yeah, I agree with you, Ryan, but I think they say he threw it in the direction of the receiver and it passed the line of scrimmage, so therefore it's not intentional grounding.
Dinks aren't always accurate.
3rd down and 10. Here comes the pressure. They meet at the quarterback, exchange phone numbers, and everybody's happy as that's now sack number 6 for the day, Corey Neyland? 5 or 6?
We'll see. And Wojcik is a tough kid because he stood in there, but the defensive secondary for the Hornets, they're simply playing well and not allowing those receivers to get open.
Well, Wojcik hasn't had the time in many cases to allow his receivers to get open either.
And that's 5 sacks.
5 sacks in the game. Jeremy Gonzalez standing at the 40 for your Hornets with 6:01 to go. Here comes the pressure up the middle. Ball's away. Gonzalez is going to settle underneath it. He does. He takes it and is wrestled down across the 45, and that's where they'll start. With 5:46 to go here in the 3rd quarter, it's the Hornets 35, the Jaguars 7 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn here on Sportsnet USA.net. Jeremy Gonzalez comes to the near side of the field. Leland Smith, who hasn't been heard much of, in the slot. Is that Nathan back on the field at quarterback? Last time he was out there, guy, I think it was a touchdown.
I think he threw it to Leland Smith.
He goes back. It should have been put in the bank, flag on the play, and that's Toby Schmidt that's in the game at quarterback.
And Octavio Ramirez, who should have had an interception.
So Toby Schmidt got leveled. Get a personal foul against the Jaguars, roughing the passer, late hit. Mark off 15, automatic 1st down for your Hornets here on Sportsnet USA.net. 5:42 to go. The Hornets up by 28 here on Sportsnet USA.net. 4-0, number 5 in the state. Big 1st down, Schmidt at quarterback. Hands it off to Garnett Davis. Then on a reverse, hands the other direction. Nobody's there. Fakes it to Garnett Davis. Touchdown, Fullerton College.
Cameron Woods, Mark, 40 yards. And that's the 2nd time they've run that end around. This time he scores the 1st time he should have scored. Hornets, 41 points here. Got to like that play, Mark.
Yeah, you do, because it was a quick play, Corey. It wasn't extended. It wasn't long. There was 2 quick hands-offs, and that's what makes the play.
And also what makes the play, Mark, is the offensive line did an excellent job of blocking. They took 1 jab step to the left, and then they all pulled to the right side to form that wall. It kind of looked like a punt return.
Ball is up, and the kick is good. With 5:25 to go, it's now the Hornets 42, the Jaguars 7 here on Sportsnet USA.net.
Good hold by Luke Mamana to go up and get it and bring it down for Fulbert to convert the 42nd point. And when you talk about good tight ends and better tight ends for Fullerton College, we've got one here in Cameron Woods who really harkens back to the old days. And when I mean old days, I mean like 6 years ago, 8 years ago. Then there was another good tight end 12 years ago. Then there was an All-American tight end, arguably the greatest tight end in Fullerton College history. Some people will argue that 20 years ago. And then you go back to the 60s with arguably the greatest tight end ever. But, you know, tight end lineage is strong with the Hornets.
Do you like that Garrett Campbell has opened up the playbook this time of the season?
Yeah, I think so, Mark. It gives you a lot more variety. It gives you an opportunity to see what plays work in live action, not just in practice.
Big kick, deep, all the way back this time again. Going to let it go in the end zone for a touchback with 5 minutes and 25 seconds to go. Corey, Ryan, myself, down here at Southwestern, your Fullerton College Hornets are up by 35, 42-7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
But what that play is like, that's like a tree play. That's one of those plays that, that's just one branch of it. But later on in game 8, or you need a huge play, there's
You fake that?
Yeah, there's 2 different plays you saw right off of that one that you can run. And we'll see if that happens later on this season.
Fake it to the left, fake it to the right, or you can do that with a little twist of a pass on that play too. And again, run plays that are tried to be made. The defense, the swarm is heating up here in San Diego on SportsNetUSA.net. Santa Ana score, any updates? What's going on in that Saddleback game, which could be extremely important for the Hornets for their next game coming up against San Diego Mesa?
We'll get one.
Alex Wojcik brings him out. Alex has been hunted tonight. Quick little throw down low, a fastball down and away, and you can't blame the young man at quarterback for Southwestern. He's feeling the heat right about now. Boy, if he takes too much time, he knows he's going to be visiting a friend from the Hornets.
You know, that was 5 sacks for the Hornet defense, 13 tackles for loss.
Wow. Oh, that's incredible.
And Saddleback is up 7 on San Diego Mesa in the 3rd.
4:35 to go. And Corey Neyland, I'm going to let you set that defense because I feel like it's that time of the game that Brian Cooks may be letting the 2s and 3s sneak in here in SportsNetUSA.net. Throw across the middle of the field. Couldn't get it there. Brings up a 4th down. And, you know, if you get beat up all night long as a quarterback, eventually the legs get a little tired. They don't put the push into the ball, and you just can't get the pass even when somebody is open to them.
Yeah, what it also does is it quickens your rhythm. It quickens that throw. You're thinking you have a 3-step drop, and you got to throw, but now you have a 2-step drop because that on that third step, I'm getting hit.
Jeremy Gonzalez back deep. Tight formation on the punt. The Hornets sitting with 10 up. Gonna lay out. Jeremy looks for it. Ball should get there. He says, get away from it, get away from it. Don't let it hit you. Fire, fire, fire. And the ball is down at the 38. That would be a punt of 2 yards, right? 12 yards?
12 yards.
12 yards, okay. Just wanted to make sure with my colleagues to my left as the ball is out at the 38.
And when we're bad at math, we went to that school.
I never saw you. You guys went to school?
Sometimes.
Oh, okay. All right, okay.
Sammy Garcia, Dalton Brown, Luke Terrones, Andrew Sanders II.
Garrett Larson in at quarterback for the Hornets. So Larson comes in. Larson getting protection. Nice play. Larson says, nobody wants to tackle me. I'll keep on running. And runs to the sticks for a 1st down.
And Dylan Nichols, the 5th offensive lineman for the Hornets. And if you look at quarterbacks, if you took a picture and saw a quarterback in the dictionary, Garrett Larson would be at wearing number 14. He just looks like what a quarterback should look like.
And I'm going to give Jonathan Sewell, guys, a lot of credit on that play because as the running back, he steps up and picks up a blitzer on the play. That allows the quarterback, Garrett Larson, to feel no pressure and choose what he wants to do. 1st down and 10, right at the 25. Larson looks things over. He gives it to the young man that made a block who said, I stumbled, I tripped, I fell. No gain on the play. 2nd down and 10 for the Hornets. 3:23 to go here on Sportsnet, USA.net. The Hornets up by 35. See, I got that one right. Here on Sportsnet, USA.net. 42-7, just in case you guys are checking me on my addition
You're
or
off.
subtraction.
You were off.
Not then, I wasn't. Big second down. 7 minus from 42 is 35. Come on, Ray. I need you to speak up and help me here on sportsnetusa.net.
We wonder if Big Ray is checked out or not. He watches every game, so we don't know if he's checked out or not, if he's still with us. If you are, let a brother know, Ray. And it was good to see him the last couple weeks at the stadium at Fullerton, Hal Scherbeck Field.
3rd down and 7. You're on sportsnetusa.net. Up the middle. Once again, the Hornets running the football.
And Duncombe, he's another player that when you look at him, just the way he's dressed wearing number 34, that's a football number.
So the Hornets are going to attempt a field goal. The ball will be spotted at the 26. You add 10, that's a 36-yard attempt. Jonathan's going to kick this one for his little sister. The ball is up, and the kick is good. So Ashland gets a field goal here on Sportsnet USA.net. Well, I tell you what, if you play soccer at Cypress or football at Fullerton College, all of you know how to kick the ball properly when you're playing your sport that's named with you. Here on Sportsnet USA.net, it's either football or football. Either one, both of them participate in here on Sportsnet USA.net. The whole family got love on that play. You like that?
Yeah, 3 for 3 on the season. His long has been 42. That one again from 36. Yes. Derek Patterson joins Jovan Young to return this kick. Biorel will do the kicking from the 35.
45-7 with 1:40 to go here in the 3rd quarter on Sportsnet USA.net.
And you like the way Southwestern plays. So they're a couple players away just from being that team that they were just a couple years ago when they beat Fullerton.
Big kick. Once again, it bounces short of the end zone. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, we mentioned this. Earlier in the game, we saw another kick like that, and I said to you, boy, that's taking a chance letting the ball hit. And you said yes to me. You see that one. They're lucky the Hornets don't come away with a touchdown.
But the other thing is, too, is that I've seen Faubert in recent practices practicing that, getting it to the goal line or having it bounce just beforehand so it has the opportunity to flip back. And excuse me, that's not Faubert. That's Villarreal.
And you look at the fact that the Hornets get the bounce that they wanted. And once again, guys, if you're that person back there, you've got to back up into the end zone and know the ball's going to get there.
And here's the thing. You got to take a chance if you're Southwestern. 1, 2, and throw.
Ball comes out.
Fumble.
I thought it was fumbled. I thought it was loose. Hornets are saying they've got the football.
And Southwestern may have come up with it, or was it Fullerton that comes up with it? Hornets are pointing their way.
It's the Hornet football. So the ball came out like I called it, Corey, and the Hornets on a kick that the person back deep should have handled, which he doesn't, puts them in a horrible position. They don't do what you say, take a chance. They try and run it out. The ball gets fumbled, and your Hornets get it with 1:14 to go, up 45-7 here on Sportsnet USA.net.
Good
We have
game,
the
Scott.
Scott Giles, the man of the hour, standing right behind us here on Sportsnet USA.net. Hardest working man in the athletic department. We had the pleasure. We could put Scott Giles on the air with us for a second. Scott Giles ready to come on the air as we get ready for this touchdown with 1:14 to go. Straight up the middle, touchdown, Fullerton College. Scott, Scott, we've talked about, and you, myself, Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland have been around for a long time. The lineage of great athletes here at Fullerton College has had to be and has to be a pleasure for you here as the AD for Fullerton College.
Yeah, I love to see our student athletes compete, and we do have great athletes. And it's fun to see them have success and have joy. They're having fun on the sidelines, and they're rejoicing for their own success, but also the success of their teammates. And that makes me real happy to see that joy and that enthusiasm and that excitement. This is a fun night for us. Everybody's going to play. Everybody's going to contribute tonight.
Yeah, and the other thing too, Scott, you've got a group of young men and women that are educators first in your department and coaches second that bring a lot to the table for anybody who attends Fullerton College who is an athlete.
Yeah, I think our coaches in our department are wonderful. Our football coaches are great. Garrett Campbell does a great job, highly organized. His teams are disciplined. They compete on the football field. They compete in the classroom. It's a pleasure to work with our coaches. They're great people, great human beings, great mentors. They're really mentoring these young men and our young women for after college, after they're done with us. The experiences that they have with us, they'll take with them throughout their life.
Deep kick, high floater. This time you've got to feel it. If you're Southwestern, do take it at the 10. Try and step up. Leveled at the 15. And Scott, before we let you go, because you were a student athlete, as we all know, you were a very good athlete. You used your sport to get you an education. Why don't people give sports more love? That Corey's a big sports fan, but Corey will even agree to this. They look at college athletes and go, especially nowadays, oh, you're there for one reason. You want to be in the pros. You want to get your NIL. Why don't they get more love as students?
I don't know. The press kind of shows those who are going to the NFL, but the vast majority of the student athletes on our level, the four-year level, Division III, NAI, Division II, and Division I, are not going to make a career out of the National Football League. Most of our kids are going to go on and do something different. And, I don't know why. I don't know. I feel it's very important that they have their education to fall back on because, very few of these guys are going to make money in the National Football League.
Yeah.
So education is a key. I grew up with Lavelle Edwards, who was first and foremost academics, education, getting your degree. I remember I'm going to share this one story. My senior year, after spring football, we always had an evaluation with the head coach. And my senior year, I don't think we talked about football once. It's all about family and education. So that's who I was mentored by, and that's how I always preached, academics.
And Scott, go ahead.
Go ahead, Corey.
And I had one question for you. What about your staff? You have a staff at Fullerton College. How do they support you, and what do they do to make things run?
Well, I think how they support me is they field competitive teams, and they work hard in recruiting. Athletes just don't show up. You have to go out and find them. I look at Perry Webster. Not only does he win, but all his kids graduate and move on. His track record has got to be almost 100% of his kids coming, playing, and moving on. It's unbelievable. So they support me in our athletic department by recruiting good kids, fielding competitive teams, and making them have an enjoyable experience while they're on our campus.
The man who works 12 hours a day, who is the person that drives the train at Fullerton College, Scott Giles. If you ever have a chance to meet him at any of the games, come up and talk to him. Scott's the nicest man you want to meet. And, don't forget, bring a picnic basket with you because he'll share it with you here on Sportsnet USA.
All right, thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
I just came up to say hi.
And we thank Scott Giles for coming.
Scott Giles. You know what? And I like Scott because he's got a sense of humor.
A little bit.
So 17 seconds to go. here in the third quarter. High floater as you got to meet Scott Giles. Oh my goodness, you signal for a fair catch. The first guy tackles you, Corey Neyland, holds you there, and then the second guy cleans your clock. To me, that should be an ejection from a field.
It might be an ejection because it was helmet to helmet, head to head, so I don't know if they're going to call targeting or not. But is this a 20-yard penalty or a 15-yard penalty for the halo violation? And
it would only be Ryan, I'm going to say it's the only 15-yard penalty.
It should only be a 15-yarder.
Okay. So they called 15 on the second, but yeah, it was a halo violation. KD. Tough guy out there, and he got a little woozy, so hope he's okay back there for the punt.
And that's one of the things that, you guys were talking to Scott Giles. We also have to give a mention to the athletic training staff that is over at Fullerton College, the best in the state of California.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. When you look at everybody who's an athletic trainer over there, well-trained group. Straight up the middle, gain up 3 on the play. Flag comes down.
And Cornelli does a nice job of just moving the ball down the field, and we'll try to get the offensive line in just a moment.
So we'll see what the penalty is. We put 4 seconds back on the clock. Personal foul, face mask against Southwestern. And Corey, the frustration is now coming in. And speaking of great trainers.
Mark beat me to it.
Speaking of great trainers, Juan Cuevas, the head of the athletic trainer here at Fullerton College, is always around here on sportsnetusa.net. So that's going to bring us to the end of the third quarter. As we come to the end of the third quarter, it's the Hornets 52, Southwestern 7 here on sportsnetusa.net. Next weekend, no football. Not until the following week on Thursday. I think it's the 12th. We will be heading to San Diego Mesa, and that game is at 6 o'clock.
7 o'clock.
7 o'clock on the 12th. So make sure you tune in, because we'll be there here on sportsnetusa.net. Because if it's Football Friday or football on sportsnetusa.net, you'll find Ryan Osborn and myself at both here on sportsnetusa.net. So the Hornets move all the way down to the 21. Nathan Cornelly comes into the game. He threw that touchdown pass. We'll see what he brings now. Goes back. Pump fakes. Freezes everybody. Lays it out. Touchdown, Corey Neyland. My brothers, I got to go to you two. This kid has thrown a couple passes. You can't throw that pass any sweeter than he's thrown it twice tonight.
Yeah, this Cornelli pass was to Bevino, and Cornelli throws 2 beautiful on the money, like you said, passes, and it was the little
pump fake.
Shimmy, pump fake, and just froze the defender just a little bit, and Bevino is just a go route. And with the go route, he laid it right where he needed to on the outside. That was perfection.
So with 14:53 to go, the ball is spotted, the kick is up, and the kick is good. It's the Hornets 59, Southwestern 7 here on sportsnetusa.net. So don't forget, that means a picnic basket for every touchdown is to Scott Giles. Boy, Scott's going to be eating a lot of food for the next few weeks here on sportsnetusa.net.
And let's give him credit for who gave time to Nathan Cornelli to pass that. Belosi Sia Tanu'u up front, Brandon Romo, Preston Jeffs, Makoto Walker, and Braden Cook are the offensive line who gave time for Cornelli to make that pass. Where can you get a picnic basket from, Mark?
I don't know. I think you guys are getting ones for us first here on sportsnetusa.net. You could get a picnic basket if you were looking for one. Where else? Discount Markets of Fullerton, located on Raymond between Commonwealth and Chapman. So go over there, say to the ladies, say to Sam, hey, I need a picnic basket for Scott Giles for the next home game here on sportsnetusa.net. I'm sure Scott will come up and show us the empty basket. Big kick all the way down the corner, turn the corner, trying to get the run back, trying to turn off the corner. Stopped right there, knocked out of bounds, and then play is stopped for both teams. Like the fact that you go up, go get the gentleman that runs the ball back, gets hit, knocked out of bounds. No more activity by the Hornets.
Elsewhere on sportsnetusa.net, Santa Ana 7, LA Valley 3. Noah Alvarez on the call. 6:45 left in the fourth quarter. Saddleback 27-17 over San Diego Mesa. And in Palomar 43-10 over Grossmont in the fourth quarter. Is Palomar having a resurgence?
I don't know. I think they've had an up and down year, Ryan Osborn. We looking at Palomar as making a slow comeback?
I think that they're in the right division to do so, but they have had, we'll say, alternating great and bad weeks.
Southwestern would like to end this game on positive notes, so we'll see what happens. A quick throw out in the flat, trying to make it. Once again, throwing it to the busiest man as a receiver for Southwestern, Savion Robinson.
Giovanni Welch makes the stop and does a nice job. Welch is one linebacker, the other two. He's joined by Daniel Kletcher and Eric Rory, number 52 in white. We'll get the other members in just a moment.
So Alex Wosick at quarterback for Southwestern. Getting in motion. Pulls it down himself, takes our running, tries to get a block on the outside. He does get a block on the outside, gets knocked out, loses the ball, but he was out of bounds at that stage of the game. Gets helped up on the far sideline by the Hornets.
So in the secondary, Bryant Meredith, the near side corner. The far side is E.J. Adams. 21 in white is Antonio Hall, one safety. And excuse me, the cornerback on the far side is Justin Smith. E.J. Adams is the near side safety.
First down and 10 at the 28 for the Jaguars. First down and 10. See if they try to go deep here. Pick it up again. Nobody gets him. He goes down, gives himself up just across the 30. Gain of 3 on the play.
Good downfield coverage. Christopher Harvey is the near side end. 61-99 Ryan Alamo is the far side end. And if the interior defensive line would pull down their jerseys, we can get their name on the air.
So second down and a long 7 for the Jaguars here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Paul Boyce is one, and we'll say Cash Amos is the other. Maybe.
Big second down play. Hornets looking. The run comes this. We get a flag on the corner. Nice block on the corner. And they make it at the right time on a beautiful run there by Giovanni Barros. See where the flag is as Giovanni turns the corner. Gets all the way out to the 39, which would be a first down for the Jags if it stands. Offsides against the Hornets, so it will. Penalty is declined. First down for Southwestern.
That was the longest run for Barrios.
Derek Patterson, one of the receivers now, comes in the game for Southwestern. Patterson comes to the slot to the side of the field, just inside of Robinson. First down and 10. Goes back, flips it over, and the young man that seems to have just perfect hands, Savion Robinson, brings in another one. 6 feet, 190 pounds, out of Minneapolis, having a heck of a night as a wide receiver for Southwestern. Gain of 7 on the play, 2nd down and 3 for the Jaguars.
And Jovan Young, we don't believe he's caught a pass in this second half. He had 8 receptions for 161 in the first half.
He goes down. We'll see if he's going for him. And Corey, I think you mentioned his name. They're going for him. And it was a ball that was thrown to the inside. If it's thrown to the outside, then you've got the defender covering him. The way it was covered, he couldn't come back to the middle of the field and get the football incomplete. Brings up a 3rd down and 4 for the Jags.
Well covered by Justin Smith.
12:02 here on a Saturday night in the San Diego region here on SportsNetUSA.net. Throw it out in the flat. Missed tackle. Then stopped at the 49, but boy howdy, I think he made the first down. They're going to give it to him on a beautiful pitch and catch to Savion Robinson, who moves the chains again for Southwestern. Young man is just an outrageous wide receiver for the Southwestern team. And if they could just get a few things to go around him, this would be a good looking cake. 1st down and 10, right at the 49. Southwestern is moving. Wojcik goes back, fakes it, looks for the same man, says, I'll get you again. Incomplete pass.
And he almost had him. E.J. Adams does a nice job of coming over the top to make it more difficult. But they had a little scissor route between Robinson and Patterson. But again, just off.
So Robinson stays to this side of the field. Patterson goes to the far side of the field over there with Young. 2nd down and 10 right at the 48. Hornets play bump and run, throwing it over in that direction. Caught, turn, tackle, gain of 4. Good defense by the Hornets with 11:11 to go.
Justin Smith on the stop. Antonio Hall is now in the secondary for the Hornets.
Big 3rd down play. I think if you were Southwestern at this stage of the game, it's 4 downs no matter where you're at here on the field. Big 3rd down coming up. Receivers come out, look over at the sideline. Spread the defense. See if the Hornets bring them. Here they come. Lots of pressure. Up the middle. Caught, dropped just a little high. And the Hornets make sure that if they're a little late, they're a little late. But don't flatten anybody. Brings up a 4th down. And Southwestern will stay on the field with 10:32 to go here in the 4th quarter. And the Hornets up 59-7 on SportsNetUSA.net.
And Jawan Young, his first drop of the game, but it's been a long night for them. Still no catches in the second half.
Robinson to this side of the field. Rolls out towards him. Looks at the throw. Ball comes up. Ball is picked. When the quarterback gets sandwiched on the play, he turns back into the pressure. He doesn't see anybody coming. He gets hit from behind. It squirts out like a seed. And next thing you know, the player's down.
And Ryan Alamo with the interception. The defensive lineman gets the pick, and that was just well played by the Hornets, Mark. You said it exactly right. When you have no time, that offensive line has been the trouble spot. When you have no time to throw it, even the well-designed plays don't go.
So Toby Schmidt comes back in the game out of Tustin High School, Tustin, California. 6'1" freshman here on SportsNetUSA.net. So, go ahead.
Oh, come on, Williams with the run, and they're getting everybody in. And for Southwestern, that was Nate Russillo. Rosilla's had a decent game on the interior for the Jaguars.
Williams out of Lawndale. Toby Schmidt at quarterback. So Williams in the backfield. Schmidt at quarterback. Second down 11. Right at the 35 for the Hornets. We get straight up the middle. Boy, I thought I heard a whistle.
You did,
Okay.
but not an official's whistle.
Yeah, it came from the crowd on the Fullerton side.
So it brings up a third down at 11,
Tustin High School, not known for their quarterbacks.
but known for running backs.
Yes, they are.
Big third down play at the 35 for the Hornets. We're at the 9:14 mark, 59-7 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Here comes the pressure. Schmidt almost gets tackled. Throws it out in the flat. Nobody's there. Nice little hesitation move by him, and nobody can take him down. And Corey, you give it to Toby Schmidt, who finds an opening and then finds a receiver right by himself with nobody around him.
Nice job by Ty Dillon to pick up the first down, move the chains, and get the Hornets in the red zone once again. In the Hornets this season, it was Cameron Woods? Oh, okay, Cameron Woods. Sorry, Ty. Cameron, good job. That's your third reception. No, is that his first reception? Okay, third reception, 2 carries, 1 touchdown.
Ty Dillon in the game here to the far side of the field. I formation for the Hornets. Looking to get the play. Turn the corner. We're going to get a flag. It's going to be a touchdown, but it is coming back.
Student body left, stretch play left, well designed.
Holding to the left. So we're going to take it back 10 yards.
And Gabby could have called that hold.
She might have from the car. 8:11 to go here in the fourth quarter. The Hornets 59, Southwestern 7 here on SportsNetUSA.net. We want to thank Scott Giles for coming on the air with us here at SportsNetUSA.net. I formation again. First down and 20 for the Hornets from the 25. Run straight up the middle. Gain up. Ball comes out. Fallen on by a Hornet.
So that was Missick Duncombe with the run. Pouncing on it for the Hornets.
7:52.
Oh, sorry, Mark.
Go ahead.
Michael Rocha.
So we'll go back to the I formation. Williams, the up back. Run it again. Try to go to the far side. Williams leading the way. Gets the big man rolling out of bounds. And that was Jonathan Sewell, the deep back. And Williams throws a really great block out there, Corey, on the I formation being the lead block. And basically Sewell followed that lead block and gets all the way down to the 10.
Yeah, running this I formation is like an old Tustin I formation, wing formation option with those running backs running downhill.
Schmidt at quarterback. 3rd and 3. Run again, straight up the middle. Keep the scrum moving. They're going to finally call it. They don't. They keep it going. I haven't heard a whistle. And now they finally blow it at the 1. And that should be 1st and goal for the Hornets. Now, one official's at the 3. One went down to the 1 because that's where the pile kept moving, and they're going to mark it at the 2. Well, hey, that's called compromise. You know, if I'm not sure, you're not sure, let's put it in the middle. That makes us all happy. 1st and goal for the Hornets with 6:15 to go. Sewell gets hit before he gets into the end zone. 6 minutes to go.
And that was Tooley. Was that Tooley again?
We're under 6 minutes here in the fourth quarter. It's the Hornets 59, the Jaguars 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Keep that clock running, baby. I formation. Second and goal from the 1. They run into each other. Sewell gets beat up. Player was down. Ball comes out later. Clock continues to run. 5:19. Third and goal. We're at the 5-minute mark. 59-7. Well, the Hornets have had an outstanding game this night here on Sportsnet, USA.net. We've had fun. Scott Giles came along. Quarterback's keeper dropped the ball. The ball comes out, fumbled on the field. Southwestern gets it, and they're off and running. One player's got to make the play down at the 21. Player down for Fullerton with 4:45. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, Scott Giles, the old guy here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Excited play.
Hey, talking on low tones tonight, you know? This was like my reverb.
So scoring update. Palomar 43-10 over Grossmont with 9:20 to play. Saddleback 27-17 over San Diego Mesa. El Camino 31-24 over Bakersfield. That's in the fourth, under 3 minutes to play. East LA 44-7 over OCC. And that scoring update from Santa Ana, Mark. Final. Santa Ana 7. Valley 3.
Oh. I wonder if Mr. Smith scored another touchdown. You know, he holds the record over at Santa Ana. Broke it a couple weeks ago. Dive play up the middle with 4:41 to go. Matty Smith's older brother broke a record that was established in 1946 with the Dons. Longest run from the line of scrimmage for a touchdown, 96 yards. His Witter brother ran, broke the record of 95 yards just 2 weeks ago, with Noah Alvarez calling the game for Sportsnet, USA.net. Flag on the play. Should be offsides against the Hornets.
Ventura beat Santa Barbara, or is beating Santa Barbara. Still 3 minutes to play in the game, 56-25. Mount Sac, no problem with San Bernardino Valley, 39-14. At half, Riverside 31-10 over San Jacinto. Long Beach is beating Cerritos 30-14 in that rivalry. And that's in the fourth quarter.
Offsides against the Hornets. That's going to move it beyond the chains. There'll be an automatic first down for Southwestern. So we're at the 4-minute mark here in the fourth quarter. It's the Hornets 59, Southwestern 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Brian Crooks is trying to, at least on the defensive side, make the old guy look like he knew what he was talking about here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Southwestern, just for the love of Corey Neyland, calls a timeout.
We need to rawhide the clock. For those of you in that demographic, College of the Canyons 29-7 over Antelope Valley for the victory. Allen Hancock down to Moore Park at Moore Park 17-10. Glendale comes back on West LA to keep them winless 37-29. Those are your scores from the SoCal area. Golden West, first game of the day, beat Citrus 31-21.
Boy, you scared me for a second. I thought we were into Sunday when he said first game of the day. I thought, wait a minute, it's after midnight.
There's a new quarterback in there, as that's going to end up being Joao Arete.
Already now at quarterback. Goes back, throws it out the flat, overshoots his receiver. Incomplete pass. Trying to get that to C.J. Nunez, the tight end. Oh, nope, that wasn't Nunez. My mistake. Trying to get it to Anthony.
Anthony Hargrove.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But
Jordan Thompson giving chase.
3:35 to go here in the fourth quarter. Want to thank everybody at Southwestern for being so kind to us. Ready, takes off running, looks to go down, go down, go down, go down. He gets sandwiched at the 40, and that's where you want to say to a young guy, go down.
It's out of IMG Academy in Bradenton.
Third down and about a half a yard. I like how the Hornet linemen are on the wrong side of the ball. That's one way to get to a quarterback. 2:57 to go here in the fourth quarter.
Mark Ryan Alamo's just looking for his second interception of the game. That's all.
Here they come. Young man, running back. He was there, met by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 white jerseys here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Daniel Kletcher leading the way. That's what it sounds like in the backfield. I was giving the audience something to feel. That's how it felt for Fullerton to be in the backfield, that scratchiness, scratching and clawing their way all the way into the backfield to get that 16th tackle for loss.
I love people who are technically sound. Fourth down. Southwestern. The ball comes up. Nice sidearm pass. That's enough for a first down. What a great little pass. Thrown off the hip. Ready for a first down for Southwestern. We're under 2 minutes in tonight's game here on SportsNetUSA.net. I'm still up here. Everybody else has left the booth on SportsNetUSA.net. Ready? Hands it off. Down the middle. Gain of 2. Ryan, I never get lost. Osborn. Corey, I never make it through a game. Neyland. And myself here on SportsNetUSA.net. Now, it's been a fun game tonight. We want to thank everybody involved. Scott Giles for coming up here and talking with us. To everybody here at Southwestern, thank you for your kindness here on SportsNetUSA.net. And for the entire staff, for your Fullerton College Hornets, it looks like, again, they're going to start the season 5-0. They have this coming weekend off. And then the following Thursday, we'll be back on SportsNetUSA.net. Don't forget, this coming Tuesday, Cypress Soccer, 3 o'clock game, the women, here on SportsNetUSA.net. John, Albert, myself, we'll all be out there for exciting community college soccer from Cypress College, Fred Haas Field. The pitch out at Cypress College. The women are fantastic. They played a game a week ago against Saddleback. What an exciting tie game. And I know people look at me and go, ties are not exciting. Oh, boy, howdy. That tie game was exciting here on sportsnetusa.net. A talented, a loaded, a skilled soccer team, the Women of Cyprus, this coming Tuesday on sportsnetusa.net. We come down to the last 27 seconds. The Hornets 59, Southwestern 7 here on sportsnetusa.net. Reddy comes back out. IMG Academy. Big third down, 5 yards. Here comes the pressure. He throws sidearm, almost picked. And boy, it was waiting on a dish. And Jordan Thompson came up and almost stole it out of Little Elm, Texas, Little Elm High School. He broke on it. Just a second behind. If he gets there a second quicker, he's on his way. 4th down, 22 seconds to go. Coach gives a signal. Garrett Campbell, Phil Austin, Dave Robinson across the way. Talked to them earlier today on sportsnetusa.net. Big 4th down and 6. Hornets come up the middle. Quarterback's looking. Quarterback gets sacked. Sack number 7 for the night here on sportsnetusa.net for your Fullerton College Hornet. And the ball gets turned over on downs as the Hornets look like they're going to win this one 59-7. Well, one of us was around the 59-point margin when we talked about how many points the Hornets may score, and one of us was on the number 7 for how many points the defense may give up tonight here on sportsnetusa.net. For Ryan Osborn, for Corey Neyland, and for myself, with 17.1 to go and a quick kneel down, we want to thank everybody once again for watching all the games here on sportsnetusa.net, and our sponsor, Discount Markets of Fullerton, for making all these games possible. As the Hornets come away with a victory tonight over Southwestern, 59-7, here on sportsnetusa.net.